well. Oh my God! What is that?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another beautiful day of ANZ Champs Season 10 as we are about to get underway with Split 2. We have our new contenders, but before that we have a whole lot to get through as well. And I am joined once again by the beautiful Mitch Pilipowski. How you doing, mate? I'm
good. I'm beautiful, apparently.
Yep.
Whenever I see that intro with like the little jet boat speeding along to the James Bond music, it always gets me hyped up, Mac.
Ooh. You sound pretty hyped. You ready for the day?
Yeah, of course. Got
Beautiful.
some pretty interesting teams to be looking at.
But we did have a bit of action on the weekend, and there is a bit of congratulations in order as well. You know, speaking
Literally.
of order, they've made it, and Avant going in with that top seed as well, so they are going to be able to choose their competitors once we do get to the finals. So that'll be very interesting. But you know, we have a whole lot to recap, and there was a whole lot of action as well. I did the open quals, so I got to see the two little blokes that did make their way through, and very hotly contested seeding match there as well with the reverse sweep.
Good to see. Apart from that match, any other interesting matches that caught your attention? You know, plenty of, I would say pretty closely contested teams competing in qualifiers like that. You always got your mixed teams going up against your more established teams, but I think we've got two pretty well-established teams that made their way through. Anything catch your eye apart from that, though?
Yeah, I feel like, what was the team? It was Incept. They were looking pretty good. Unfortunately, the round gap was just too different on those, in the open qual, and you really need to bring your A game on the day, so they did get knocked out on the last chance in the lower bracket, so couldn't get it done. But, you know, the two teams that did make it, which was, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I reckon that they are going to have a very good season here in Split 2.
I'm hoping so, yeah. I'm very excited about it, but we'll get into it in a minute.
What was that, sorry?
We'll get into it in a minute.
Of course, yeah, we should. So we do have the graphics to bring up as well. Yeah. What do we got? We do have the format coming through. So this is where we are currently in that middle bit. We see where it says Split 2. Look down below. That's where we are. So there's the 6 teams left over from the previous season. There was that double elimination, and there were 6 teams knocked out. 2 teams made it, and they have solidified their spot straight to the finals over there, as you can see on the right. That's that little fast track down the bottom. So we are going to be going into another double elimination bracket, which these 8 teams are going to play through exactly the same as the last split, except 2 different teams. So that's really all that is different this part of the split.
Yeah, we took the top 2 and we added 2 more from an open qualifier, and now we've got 8 teams again competing in a double elimination bracket for 2 spots at the finals to go up against Order and Avant.
Yeah, and that should be very interesting indeed. I'm super excited to see how that one ends up and who actually makes it, because, you know, we've got a fair few teams that all could be viable for competing for this spot as well. You've got Chiefs still in there. You've got Paradox, who were looking pretty good. They almost caused that upset in the best of 3 against Order. They did take that map Inferno, which was interesting to watch. And
Ground Zero,
yeah, they're there as well. Another couple of the teams coming up. It could be any one of them, but here we are. So
Rooster as well.
This is the 8 teams that we have for Split 2. And there it is. It is going to be Paradox, Chiefs, Ground Zero, Rooster, Skyfire, Wide Swing, Ice Sleep, and Airborne. So there is a lot of talent in these 8 teams.
I actually feel like any of these teams could lose to any of these other teams. Maybe Chiefs shouldn't be losing to many of them, except if they're underperforming a little bit and Paradox or Ground Zero sort of brings their A game, or maybe Skyfire has a bit of a plucky upset. But apart from that, I would say everyone here is upsettable, and these 2 spots are not clearly defined for any teams going through, except for maybe Chiefs.
Yeah, I feel like they would be the favourite of the 8 to be going through, and even said that, like, there has been a lot of upsets with Chiefs recently, so they can drop the ball at any given moment.
They lost
However,
to Paradox.
We do have to move on. We have a game to get to, and we are going to bring up the prize pool. So, as you can see over there on the right, there's going to be $8,000 for the winner, as well as the DreamHack Open Direct Invite, so that is pretty massive indeed. $5,000 for the runner-up, and 3rd and 4th place both get $3,500, which is a whole lot of cash.
It is, and essentially, you know, the reason why they're both getting that is just because they're both getting knocked out at the same stage of the competition. We're all playing through these 2 brackets to weed out 4 teams, rather, that will go and compete against each other, 2 semi-finals and 1 grand final, and the winner of the grand final gets that international slot, which everyone's got their eyes on.
I'm very excited to see how that goes once we get there. But we do have the bracket from Split 1. We are going to have a quick look back at that and see the journey that Order and Avant both took to make their way through to the upper bracket to secure their spot. So you've got Order, who made it all the way to the upper bracket final initially there, and then got knocked down by Avant, who then went on to 3-0 Order in the grand final, which was
with the map advantage.
With the map advantage. So it's technically a 2-0, but still Order not able to pick up either of those maps was a bit of a surprise to a few people there. But Avant are just looking very good at the moment.
I mean, in their Inferno map, I think they were up like 14-8 or something like that. They had some massive lead that Avant was able to grind back into overtime and then defeat them in the OT. So they definitely could have taken a map there. They could have even taken multiple maps. But I would say, as of lately, Avant's sort of getting the better of this Order team, despite the fact that Order's the team that's managed to qualify to go through to the minor and has some pretty good opportunities coming their way in the near future, hopefully.
I feel like it's going to be a very, very close final with all these teams as well, and I would love to see a little bit of Paradox on land if they can make it through the run here in Split 2. I feel like they showed us that they have the skill. You know, there's some old-timers in there being Herbs and Inno, and they were definitely surprising us. I think Inno came in from work and then managed to secure a round with, what was it, an ace? Yeah. That was a pretty
That's
nice
a classic
round.
Inno move. Just literally no aim prac, no death matching. Get straight back from work, hop out the car, hop straight on the computer and start fragging.
Just fresh as anything.
Yeah.
But we do actually have a round from that game, the Inferno comeback that Paradox pulled against Order. So we're going to have a deeper analysis of that one. And Pilly, would you like to take us through this as it comes through?
Sure. So, I mean, the context of this game is that this is a map that Paradox have never been expected to win. We weren't expecting them to take a single map off of Order. It's Inferno. They're down like 14-6, and this is the first CT gun round. You see the nade being dropped there by Badonka to help him cross in towards second mid. Usually you see a bit more of a standard setup from the CTs in a round like this, but Paradox go for something ballsy. You can see them just bombarding utility down. Luke's going to spam just to draw out the fire from that T-stairs player, and you can see Badonka's getting 2 kills over there on the right-hand side. We'll get to that in a little bit. Just going to show like how they're setting up most of this. So you can see in this 4-way, Lukey's throwing the flashes over the top. The bottom 2 is the T's perspective. You got Valiant's fully blind. You still is expecting someone to peek from second mid window, because usually when you throw the flashes over the top, you'll see the CT go through Boiler and try to pick into second mid. But as you can see, Badonka's actually run down mid with the help of that grenade smoke and with the Molotov.
Crazy.
And he's going to wide peek as hard as possible into second mid, and we can just resume this clip now and see what the actual outcome of that was. He goes straight into second mid. You still is expecting that play, isn't ready for the peak, and then Valiance is blind, he gets a double kill. And that's in the first gun round. You can see they're down 12-6. This is extremely ballsy. If they lose this round, they're going to get completely reset, and they're going to be down 14-6 probably, and be very close to losing the map. But they did actually start to turn this game around, and they did actually end up winning this map in overtime. And this was just one of a series of very, very good plays and mixing up their aggression, and, you know, Badonka getting aggressive. I think he does end up having many multi-frag rounds where he gets aggressive time and time again and has massive impact for Paradox. And you can see this ends up being in a 5-on-2. And you can see the CTs are broke on the right-hand side of your screen. If they don't come around with this round cleanly, they're going to be pretty broke heading into the next round. But you see that in this situation, they win with 4 players surviving. That's really good for their economy, and they start to turn the game around from there.
An extremely important round secured perfectly by an extremely confident wide swing, of all things. He went halfway out. He was almost over towards T-Apps there.
Yep.
That was crazy. Badonka, you know,
I'm surprised he stopped
pulling
moving to get that second kill. I thought he was just going to keep going all the way through and towards the apartments. But there you go. That was impressive. I mean, and that was just one tiny little minuscule piece of Paradox's lower bracket run there, at almost really securing themselves a spot. They got that first map win over Order. They were 1 map away for actually qualifying for land. So that's extremely impressive stuff from Paradox, making their way through the top 4, beating Ground Zero, beating Chiefs, and then taking a map off of Order. I'm keen to see what they've got here in Split 2 up against some of these other teams.
I am very excited to see that as well. And speaking of Split 2, we do have the bracket to have a look at to see who is going to be playing who for at least the upper bracket round 1.
Now we get to tell you who actually qualified.
Yeah.
So Mac, you watched the qualifier. You wanna talk to us about it?
Yes. So we do have the sneaky boys from iSleep, which is XMC. Obviously, they're coming across. They've got a couple of big names, a couple of old names as well. So you got Ferg and Moe in that team. And then you've also got Airborne, who I expected to be in Split 1, but then they went out really early in the lower bracket. They've had a recent couple of roster changes as well. You've got Brace in there doing the IGL in as well, and obviously not fragging because he can't frag. Sorry, Toby, but it's true. We've seen what you can do. And but he's the brains. You know, he doesn't have the brawn.
Yeah, I mean, they got a couple of pretty good brains in that roster, I would say. They can definitely show us some interesting stuff.
Yep.
And I would say that they are a potential opportunity to put some upsets together and actually come away with a land spot. I think a lot of these teams can do it, but that Airborne team is definitely not one that you can necessarily count out, even though they are, I would assume, probably the 8th seed looking at this because Paradox is versing them.
I do actually have a bit of information as well. So it was very important for iSleep to win that seeding match because Ferg came in to chat afterwards and was like, man, I am not playing against Badonka. We really need to win that and get the higher seed so we can play Chiefs because they were not confident going up against Paradox at all.
Interesting. That's an interesting take, to be honest. You know, even if you've got Moe and stuff like that, they can definitely be players that can be a little bit scared of the onliners, even though they've got international experience and stuff like that. Sometimes you got some players who can come and hit you with those wide swings or come with the confidence online. It can be extremely difficult to play against. So yeah. I guess they will be happy with that. And Airborne will have to go up against Paradox. It'll be a good match regardless. And, you know, I'd say Paradox are probably after their last performance in that first split, one of the favourites going into this one, although I'm still not counting out Ground Zero. I still think Ground Zero is quite a good team, and you know, there's no guarantee that Paradox put together the same level of upsets that they did. I'm going to need to watch the rest of this split before I go full fanboy mode and fully commit myself to the Echo fan club, the Cult of Echo.
The Cult of Echo,
yeah.
Which has been
I've only sent them half of my life savings at this point. So
okay.
if they do well again, if they make that land spot, that's instantly all of my life savings transferred into the Cult of Echo.
The full investments.
That's it. Yep.
Beautiful.
You won't see me casting anymore.
We'll see if Luke there can pull Pilly's full confidence for the split. But that is going to be first up at 6:30, which is coming up shortly. It's going to be Airborne, who came in as the lowest seed up against the top seed. Yet I still think we are going to see 3 maps in this matchup.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think Airborne as well, I would like to see them play a little bit more of an intelligent veto and try to go a bit wider on the map pool, potentially, even though they are sort of a new team that's shuffled around rosters a little bit. I do know that some of the players in that team do like to lean on the preparation and watch their demos and do their research. So I'm hoping that they'll bring that kind of energy and focus into the ANZ champs here and show us what they're really capable of.
Yeah, and then of course we do have Rooster taking on Skyfire as the second match of the night, and that will be very interesting because I think that's going to be pretty close.
That game's going to be a mess. That game's going to be crazy. I don't know if
it's going to be a mess, but it will be exciting. That's the word I'd use. Anyway, moving on, we do have the Team V team ready for this first matchup. It is going to be Airborne taking on Paradox, and as you were talking about the maps just before, I think that both these teams share pretty similar map pools from what I've seen them veto recently.
That's probably not good for Airborne then, because Paradox, they thrive off of getting these maps that they're comfortable on, and a lot of the teams that they're able to upset who are, I would say, you know, maybe not the previous iteration of Airborne, which I thought was actually quite a good team, but with some roster changes, a little bit of instability, I would say Paradox is definitely the favoured team here, and if you're going to give them maps that they're super comfortable on, then you're going to have some difficulties, I would say.
And there's some sharpies in this team. Namely, you've got PZ there, very sharp on the AWP. Swede and Smooth Crim, both known for, you know, being able to frag as well. Swede was calling for a while, but now Brace is here to take over the reins. And you do have JD as well, who can be a very impactful rifler, you know, all things considered.
Yeah, he was a big piece in that MLW roster with Smooth Crim. He was sort of like the third musketeer, you know, off and on. You'd have mostly Chelios and Smooth Crim going ham, but a lot of the time you would also have old mate JD, who'd have some impactful halves, like you said, on the rifle, maybe on the T side of nuke, he would step up and drop a 20 bomb or have some impactful kills. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, you got PZ here. That's going to be a big piece. He seems like the big fragger on the team. I haven't seen too much of him playing because a lot of the competitions I watch haven't had Airborne in them, you know, the ANZ champs, and I don't usually watch a whole lot of MDL, although I do keep tabs on the results and stuff like that. So yeah, it'll definitely be cool to see how they go in this competition here, and you know, whether they're able to start off early or whether they'll have to make a bit more of a lower bracket run before they get comfortable.
I feel like we are going to see them going to the lower bracket early, and we might even see that lower bracket run all the way like what we saw from Paradox in that first split. There is the high potential there, but there's still a bunch of names that are going to be sent to the lower bracket, which we may not expect to be there as well after looking at that bracket.
Yeah. So that they're definitely going to be a team to keep your eye on. As for Paradox, though, they should essentially have an easier sort of game here than they had in some of the other games in the previous split. So, you know, especially like you said, if the teams share map pools, if there is no sort of preparation level that you want to see from this Airborne team, I think there's a, you expect to see 3 maps. I think if they get maps they're comfortable on, I think they'll just play better and they'll probably shut them out 2-0.
Yeah, I feel like that may just be the case, but we do have Paradox to have a look at as well, just in case you forgot who the team was. It is going to be Lukey and Luke, as well as
Badonka Dizzle.
Oh, they put Dizzle in there. I love it. I love it. All right, so that is the get bedoinked. Hashtag get doinked.
Get doinked.
Get
Right.
doinked. Badonka Dizzle.
I mean, Badonka, to be honest, did impress me a little bit when I saw him play against Order. I think, I've gone through his stats quite a lot, and I think, he does have a lot of those games in MDL where he just drops bombs against some of the lower tier teams, and then doesn't play as well against some better teams, but he definitely did play pretty well against Order in that series, so I'm keen to see if he's going to continue that kind of form.
I actually asked him about that.
Oh, yeah?
I said the other day, hey, mate, so what do you think about being called a noob basher? And he was thoroughly offended.
Oh, well, he's allowed to be offended, what I say is not gospel. It's not always the full truth. It's not always the full story. All I'm doing is reading off a page of statistics, and I'm always liable to be wrong. In fact, more often than not, I am wrong, and I do just like to try to say after the fact that what I said might have been correct, but I'm just going literally straight off of his HLTV stats, off of going through all of his matches, and, I would say that maybe he's not, that's not 100% the full story, and that I am giving him credit where credit's due. He had some pretty massive rounds against Order, but I want to see some more consistency from him, and see if that risk versus reward play style is going to work for him going forward, especially if he goes on to the LAN competitions against some of the better teams.
Man, I feel like we're going to see some Vertigo today, and I'm excited. We saw so much last week. I played a bit over the weekend as well. I'm loving the map at the moment. There's some smokes as well that I've been trying to learn. You know that one from the T-spawn that goes over and lands at the top of the rafters? Just to gain ramp control, or at least rafters control.
Yeah.
Or yellow, whatever you want to call it. Diggity, millions of names so far
deep
for
into the ramp.
Yeah.
Right, yep.
Yeah. So you can throw that, get a bit of control. Learnt that one. That was pretty nice. It was actually a pretty easy lineup.
You can throw a lot of smokes on Vertigo deep. You can throw one under the stairs as well. You can get all kinds of deep CT map control, and that is a map that kind of does remind me of Overpass, to be honest, where you do have to actually get aggressive on the CT side before you fall back to the site and allow the execute to come in. You need to try to get damage or picks in different parts of the map and use your utility and counter flashes to be able to enable you to do that. So that'll be cool. I mean, from what I saw from Paradox against Order, their Vertigo was not 100% kosher, but maybe against an easier opponent they'll have a bit better of a time of it.
Yeah, I feel like up against Airborne, it could go either way if we do see Vertigo. So, but that's one of the reasons why I feel like we still are going to be going to 3 maps. I don't know if it's going to be the clean 2-0 for Paradox. It'll all depend on the veto, and we're not quite there yet. But look, I'm excited to see it. A bit of Luke action. He was popping off the other day as well, especially when he's on. It's generally when Paradox starts to win. It's the point where, if Badonka's top fragging, that's usually when they lose the maps, but they ended up winning Inferno the other day, so that theory just gets thrown out the window. Yeah,
I don't know. I think they play pretty well across the board, to be honest, and I think that they can get games done even when key players aren't fragging. Because overall, I think they do actually play a pretty decent structured game of CS, and they do play common sense sort of strategies like taking your map control and going pretty consistently into high percentage areas of the map, and just doing keep it simple sort of stuff that will enable you to come away with rounds more often than not. And I think they play high percentages a lot of the time, and they don't. Outside of Badonka, take unnecessary risks a lot of the time, but you always need that wild card in your team. You can't just be 5 people always holding the right angle, doing the right thing, because sometimes you do need to get that aggression in there and unsettle your opponents a little bit. That every team needs an element of that. Sometimes it takes someone with a lot of confidence, like we saw in that round breakdown earlier, but we do have the vetoes ready, so we are going to move into what maps we're going to be playing today in this best of 3, and it's not going to be Train, it's not going to be Vertigo, so that's pretty disappointing. I was expecting a bit of Vertigo. So here's where I want to see Airborne pick Nuke, but I don't know if they're going to. Okay. I do want to see them push Paradox out of their comfort zone rather than just picking towards the center of the map pool. As for Paradox, I fully expect them to pick Dust 2 or Inferno, because I would expect nothing less from them. Maybe an Overpass if they want to go a bit wider on the map pool, but it's probably going to be one of those. So all right, let's have a look. Let's move into the picks here. Nuke,
There it is.
I'm very glad that they've done that, because
Got
that
the
gives
nuke.
them a bit of an in into the series. There you got the Mirage one actually out of Paradox, where I've seen them pick a lot of Dust 2 and Inferno, which is interesting. Maybe playing their opponents a little bit there. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's some kind of reasoning behind that. I would have expected it to be one of those core 3. Now we've still got Overpass in the pool, we've still got Dust 2, we've still got Inferno. So honestly, it could be any 3 of those. I would really love to see an Overpass here, but obviously it's going to come down to
I reckon it's Dust 2.
Paradox to pick the last map, and I'd expect them to go towards the middle of the map pool rather than going towards an Overpass, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
See
have a
what
look.
ends up.
What do we got?
They're going to ban
Ooh,
Dust
no
2,
Dust
so
2.
they've gone towards Inferno instead of Overpass.
Okay.
They could play both of those, so it's going to be interesting, but here's the thing, you know, Airborne, you've got them picking Nuke, putting Paradox a little bit out of their comfort zone in terms of the map pool and giving themselves a big opportunity to win this, the first map here.
Yep.
And then they've got 2 chances at very comfortable sort of middle of the map pool maps to be able to secure that win. So
Yeah.
there is an opportunity here for Airborne if they can take advantage of it. But if Paradox does have, you know, a decent nuke game that I haven't seen, number one, and they have a good CT side and then are able to grind out exactly what they need on the T side, or B, they just aren't too phased by that first map of nuke and then just go through and put together the reverse sweep. It could be one of those. So, yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see where we end up, because I feel like Nuke certainly could be taken by Airborne here. Paradox, haven't seen them play Nuke for a while, if at all. So
they have a very a narrower map pool, that's for sure.
I have a feeling that Badonka on Nuke, though, is going to be scary.
Could be.
A scary prospect.
It is a map where you can push into your opponents and get some pretty niche timings and get aggressive all over the map. And sometimes, you know, you can sort of, I don't want to say it's too gimmicky, but you can sort of cheat your way into a win by getting aggressive and winning a lot of key important rounds without having to worry about too many fundamental good rotations on the CT side defense or on the T side. Sometimes you can really just hit some pretty good timings on Nuke to win yourself some rounds pretty easily. Yeah,
well, we'll see if Paradox have it in them to at least take Airborne's map pick, or if Airborne may be able to pull the 2-0. I know Paradox, they're pretty sharp on Mirage, but I know Airborne, they've certainly played it as well.
Yeah, they should be comfortable on it, right? It's a map that's been out for a long time, you know. Obviously, Mirage and Inferno, everyone should know how to play it to some degree. It's just about how, you know, comfortable and confident you are of bringing that into a comp like this against an opponent like Paradox, who seems like they're in pretty good form. So I would agree. I'd still say that even if you showed me that Paradox dropped Nuke, and you asked me to predict the series, I'd still say it's probably like 60-40 to Paradox in the form that they're in at the moment. I'd still say they have a good shot at taking it out. But here is where I would like to see Airborne get themselves rolling, get themselves some confidence, and try to make a good run at this best of 3 win.
You said it's 60-40, but the community thinks it's 76-24, it seems. So Paradox with the more fans in the audience, it seems. See how this one goes. Well, I'm excited. So Airborne, the underdogs, at least getting their map pick to start things off to bring us into the first series of Split 2. It should be an exciting prospect, and we'll see if they can start it off strong, because I dare say Paradox have started on the CT side. We will find out in a moment once we do jump in, and there it is. Airborne starting on the T side. Paradox, they are going for a 3-man play towards the A site. One at ramp, one at outers, as Airborne start to group up towards outers themselves. And, oh, what a play. Eckle can't quite get more than the single, but big damage on a brace.
He's in kind of disrespect mode, just casually walking over towards that T side red and just spamming his USP away, getting in the face of his opponents. That's what I see. That's the kind of confidence I want to see from Paradox in this series. Don't let Airborne get comfortable or run whatever strats they're interested in running, because, you know, they've got some 5 heads on that team.
Big brains indeed.
You want to pop those 5 heads before they use them too much, you know? Alrighty. Oh, it's going to be the bust out of Hut. There's the flash in through rafters.
You know, not able to deny the cross initially, and he gets his head taken straight off, but it's going to be Herbs to hold, almost the triple, but he has to go for the reload. And then the push comes in, the swing is there, and the spam comes through. As now it's up to Brace in the 1v2. Position known, but already down to 23 HP. It's looking very grim, and the crossfire now set up. But Herbs is worried about the flank. There it is, the rotation will come back through, and it looks like it's going to be a knife in the back. No. CT, standoffish. Just waiting for the right moment, edging forward. It's going to be spotted, but the bomb now retrieved. If Brace can make his way over towards the vent, he should be able to get the plant for free. We'll see if Badonka peaks in time. He's not able to deny the drop, and there it is.
That's a good plan. I mean, it's not high percentage that Brace is going to be able to win the round anyway, and Paradox still do have the kit, so just being able to get the bomb down definitely makes a difference. Badonka's made the rotation over from Heaven, cleaned that one fairly easily. It's good stuff from Paradox. You want to get as many of these CT rounds as possible if they're not comfortable on this map. I mean, you know, we don't have a whole lot of data to go off. Maybe they scrim it a lot and they are okay on Nuke. End of the day, though, this is the map that you definitely want to be taking as Airborne. So if Paradox can come away with a lot of these CT rounds, maybe get themselves a double-digit half and then hit a few of those timings on the T side, or have a couple of pocket strats that they practice rather than relying on fundamentals that they may not be as comfortable in without as many officials in terms of reps on this map, then maybe that's what they want. That's what they want, to be able to come away with Nuke here and come away with the 2-0 in this series.
I will just have a cheeky peek to make sure that we have the right stats here, but it looks like it's going to be the faster approach towards the A side. The Molly slows them down for just a moment. Airborne, they're actually going to be sending JD straight across Annex here. There's the entry now. The uppers bust about to come through, but over towards Tetris. Lukey, what can he do? He looks the wrong direction, and he'll fall for free. The Zerbs now. It's been hit to 14. It's not looking good for Paradox.
Nice little set play. Good timings there from Airborne. Good spacing. That's exactly what you want to be seeing. They don't have any utility left here to hold back the CT, so if Badonka wins a couple of aim duels here with a M4, he could be looking at a bit of a retake, but doesn't look like he wants to go for it. Instead, just wants to hold on to these M4s and make his way into the next round with some guns that can do some real damage. But nice little set play in the second round there from Airborne. Very nicely pre-planned, good flashes, good utility usage, good spacing and timings coming out of Annex as well as Upper. And, you know, pretty good round to come away in that second round after losing the pistol.
They are going to grab an extra Galil on the exit as well there. So Airborne gets away with 4, and that's going to be nice for the economy heading forward on the T side. Paradox, they're going to be left alone. Happy to save.
They're going to force.
Oh, surely they're going to force here. The 1400, the double eco, and with the 2 M4s in play,
I'd like to see...
it'd be rude not to.
Oh, yeah, it would be. Very rude. I'd like to see Herbs drop, like, I was going to say drop a scout to Luke, but MP9 is not too bad of a shout either, to be honest, onto, you know. Still very limited utility on the CTs, and I'm sure Airborne are going to be well aware that this should be a force out of the CTs. Luke going to get aggressive over there in towards Secret side, and it doesn't look like Airborne wants to go anywhere too fast. Brace is going very quickly over towards Secret side. Keen to see if PZ is going to flash him in or not. Doesn't look like it, and that's a freebie there for Luke. Smooth Krim has got a pick over there towards that door or hut side as well, though, for Airborne. So a 1-for-1 should favour the Tigers, especially because they still do have control over lobby. That is a very bad time to change weapons, surprisingly, though. Let's get away with that.
Luke will manage to get the trade to work as well. Picks up the MAC-10. But Lukey just in the perfect position to try to deny the bust here towards the upper side. A huge amount of util going to be used by Airborne. But there's the Deagle. Second head not found as Swede goes for the trade. Now they are going to go for the drop down towards the lower side with the bomb. CT still unawares, slowly coming back on the flank through radio, but that's going to leave them so far away.
Donka's still got the kit that he had in the CT pistols, so that could actually make a pretty big difference here for Paradox. Luke's only got that Deagle, as the MAC-10's not really going to help him at this kind of a range, and here comes the retake.
Flash to ramp, but Smooth Crim's in a strong position here at Emo. Trying to deny the cross. There it is. Perfect positioning. Gets the timing as well as Badonka's going to be jumping in midair. Now he tries to isolate the 1v1s. And it's an awkward position, but the head spotted. And Smooth Crim locks it down.
It's a great crossfire from Airborne. That's going to get them that second round and shut down the force buy from Paradox, which is about as ideal as you want on that T side. You know, you take out the CTs in that second round where you force up with the bomb plant on that T side. And then shut down the force buy. That's going to put them on single save. You're going to be looking at a 4-1 on the T side, which on Nuke, a couple more gun rounds, and already you're looking pretty fantastic to be taking out this map.
Strong start here. And I did have a quick peek as well. So this is the first official that Paradox has played on Nuke. In the last 3 months, at least.
That's what I said. Every time, you know, they played a Ground Zero or a team like that, and I just see the opponent team picking Mirage or picking Inferno or something that they're comfortable on. I don't understand the thought process. Surely you want to go wider on the map pool against Paradox. Fair play. Paradox can play a pretty decent overpass. But as for a nuke or something like that, should be able to get a freebie onto them. Just looking at their map pool. And I mean, it's only the CT side. It's only the first couple of rounds. So we'll see how, you know, comfortable they're looking as this map progresses. I do want to see what they have on the T side of this map, though.
Nice position held by Luke, but he's just going to whiff a little bit too much, and unfortunately couldn't line up that headshot, which would have been a free kill, but it is going to be 5 alive at the end of the round for Airborne. A very clean one for them. Money continues to rise as well as the rounds on the board. That's going to be 3 already on that T side, as you mentioned. A couple more, and they should be right as rain to send it into the second half.
Yeah, and they have enough money to be able to buy a couple more times as well. So it's going to take more than just this gun round for Paradox to be able to make a bit of a comeback into this game. Luke's going to get his hands on the AWP. The problem is that Paradox, they really don't have a whole lot of utility here, which is pretty important on Nuke. If you don't have that Molotov for Door or the Molotov for Heart to be able to stop some of those quicker upper plays or be able to put that smoke on the outside, it can be a little bit easier for the Ts to work some annoying timings or just go for those fast secrets or quick plays into ramp room. They can kind of bully you out of those choke pointy areas of the map rather than you having the safety net of that utility to hold them out. As well as the fact that the CTs don't have any kits and they don't have any money. So if they don't win this round cleanly and they have to repurchase, Airborne's going to be able to put another bar on the board and just reset them harder. It's a precarious position for Paradox, as it always is after you win pistol and then immediately lose the following round. Looks like it's going to be XE and uppers. You already see Smooth Crims getting ready to throw that smoke on towards Annex. You got a couple players on the Skylight throwing out Molotovs.
Dangerous execution, but we'll see if the CTs are going to be able to get this one done. Bomb goes out on its own, and it is going to be Inno to hold so far. Big defense on the A site. And that'll slow down the Ts in the tracks. Inno just on 6 HP. May just get caught in the corner here. The spam not going to come through. If anyone can clutch it, it is going to be Geordie. 1v4. Plenty of time to play with at least, but the positions of the CTs are going to be rough to deal with. Luke up towards Mustang there. Tetris as well as
even if he doesn't win this round, every kill that he gets is absolute gold for Airborne, buying up into the next round.
Had the lineup for so long. Finish it eventually. Minimal damage taken. 30 on the trot. Might be able to get it done, but he has to go through that molly. Good movement to find the headshot onto Luke. Pushes his way through. And now he's taking a whole lot of damage. Gets the spam bit down to 2 HP. He goes. But he's left the bomb. He's going to double back, expecting this aggression from Badonka. And he is correct in assuming this. But he has to go for the bomb plant now. As he taps it, he's running out of time. Badonka should have this now. Able just to approach. We'll see if PZ is going to be ready to strike. Over to the left. Just couldn't reposition his crosshair in time.
Doesn't matter though. 3 kills is absolutely massive for Airborne there. Even if he doesn't convert the round, he gets the bomb plant. He killed 3 of these CTs, so we're going to have, you know, that 3.5k to just under 4k sort of buy there, which is definitely not ideal. They're going to have to go down to FAMASs and MP9s. AWP has been retained, so that's going to be thrown over to Luke. But you can see that Airborne have so much cash still. They're going to be able to put together a really good buy here on the T side. And with Paradox winning that round, they reduce their loss bonus. They're going to get hard reset, you know, down to like that 1900 sort of margin.
So what you're telling me is Airborne, they might have lost the battle, but they haven't lost the war just yet.
No, definitely not. I mean, if they win a round like this, they're looking at 5 or 6 rounds on the T side already. So this is a pretty important one.
But Zach crossing towards out as it's Inno. He has been spotted on his travels. That's going to be a rough position to get out of as well. Although Airborne are very passive at the moment, so Inno may just be able to cross back to safety for free.
I think it's fine for him to just sit here for the rest of the round, to be honest. He's already in a great position. They're already up a man. Just delaying time and setting up a potential for Luke to be able to get some kills as well is going to make all the difference for Paradox here. They've
invested more utility, trying to take control, but they missed the mark. deep smokes, allowing this isolation to occur, and the molly will get the trade, but JD's fallen for it. So it's still the man advantage for Paradox.
It's going to cause a rotation, though. You saw Badonka's drop down in towards lowers now that those smokes are out. Lukey's towards the ramp room, where the T's are just going to walk straight in.
When he's made a bit of sound, and just with the UMP, cannot get the work done. Molly towards the elbow, won't stop Luke from hitting another. And there it is, the man advantage maintained by Paradox again. So the trade's coming through. But at the 30 seconds on the clock now, again, psg and Swede, what can they do?
Oh, the positioning is great here from Paradox. Dropping down into lower, though, might be a bit of a mistake, as looks like Airborne's going to get keen to hit that upper bomb site. Herbs is just playing retake from lobby side, while the other two are down in towards lower.
Trying to make the read. It's a dangerous play going back to heaven now. Both of the Airborne players, they have separated, and Herbs, his attention's going to be drawn, but he holds strong. psg can't quite get the trade, but he has to stick the plan if he wants to win the round. And he's just going to fight for it anyway. Awkward situation from Luke there. But the round is won. And Paradox, they are not going to get too over-ambitious.
Still, now they have minimum loss bonus, and they've lost 3 players again. So every round that Paradox wins, it's great, but they're not winning them cleanly. And you can still see Airborne's got enough money to be able to go for a buy, even though it will be a little bit janky on towards either JD or Swede. They're going to opt not to buy, just have that hero SG and a couple of pistols and some utility, gives them a decent shot at winning the round without having to fully commit and maybe potentially cook their economy going forward. I don't know how I feel. I do like the sort of passive economic decisions a lot of the time, but this was a round where you could have really hard broken those CTs.
Looks like they're going to go just belated with the P250. It is going to be JD and Smooth Crim opening up. And that's that man advantage found by Airborne, as well as the A site. Paradox, they've got some utility to go for the retake here, but can they even up the numbers?
I don't know. We'll see from Airborne what kind of a post plan they end up getting into. Paradox, like you said, could use that utility over towards the heart, over towards that squeaky area, and try to cut these Ts in half and make the duels a little bit easier for themselves. Slowly progressing in with the util, but already losing Inno is going to make this even harder.
They've disregarded Badonka. They think it's the double heaven setup. Maybe some miscommunication comes through, but Airborne, they have secured the round by staying passive, and that'll do it. The Pistols get over the line, and there's so much money in the bank with that win as well. If they can take down Badonka, that's another weapon retrievable. Oh. But at least he will fight for his life. Triple kill on the exits there.
Pretty sharp stuff from the man staying alive there. Still, though, Paradox, that's, the 1,400 loss bonus gives them absolutely no money to work with after losing those after winning those last 2 rounds. So essentially now they've got a force, and they're in the same situation as they were in before. Airborne's got a little bit of cash left in the bank, even if they lose this round. Not the best loss bonus though. Whereas, you're going to see the CTs be completely broke if they lose a round like this. They already don't have the best of buy and best of utility to be working with. Now Airborne throwing those secret smokes and just walking straight across. You already see Badonka. That's a pretty key player with a full belt of utility in towards lower. If anybody is going to make the difference, this man needs to step up and be able to get 1 or 2 kills.
Oh, but he's given up his position. He's thrown that molly dang early. Worried that it was a faster approach down towards lowers from Airborne. Just happy to buy some time. That molly will force him back around the corner. Airborne not taking that opportunity there. They don't want to take the gamble of going through the smoke dry.
I mean, Paradox are double rotating and pushing lobby here, so they've got a great read on this. You see Inno as well as Luke already down there. You see Lukey going in towards the vent. Paradox are 1 step ahead at this point. Problem is Smooth Cream on the lurk from outside gets a freebie there over towards Herbs, which is going to potentially make the CT second guess. It does still look like they are quite committed in towards this lowest area.
Going the whole way down now, but Donka gets the engagement. Oh, wants to throw the flashbang. Opts for the weapon instead, and Luke comes in to maybe save the round. Very aggressive push and almost fell, but it is going to be the 3v3 with 30 seconds. Once again, psg kills the rotation, and that is going to be the A site for free. They know they've accounted for both the remaining CTs.
Smooth Cream on the lurk there is the key player. He gets a kill onto Herbs. He gets all the information about what's happening at Outer, and it gives Airborne an extra out in that round. Does still look like Paradox kind of want to go for this. They do have the kit on Luke. Ino's picked himself up an AK. But I think Ino's now starting to float back away.
Just finding that line at the perfect time. psg goes down, and if he can hit a wallbang, there's an opportunity, but that won't happen. Not this time. And Luke will just try to save that AWP. Be allowed to, it seems, as Airborne. With the money in the bank, it's probably best that they do save 2 extra weapons so the drop can come through safely for Sweden PZ there.
Paradox.
That's another on the board. That's 5 for Airborne already.
Yeah, I think it would be good to see Paradox just take a bit of a save here. You could see, you know, get armor, maybe drop like a SMG. Luke could drop a rifle, and then it could be like kind of a buy. But at some point, you know, the loss bonus is stacking up enough where if they just get pistols here and then they have the rifle as well as the AWP, they have a sort of decent shot. I'm surprised Ino doesn't buy armor there. Then again, though, you know, he has only got so much loss bonus to work with heading into the next round, so that's why.
Taking the AWP battle there straight through the vent. But look at this aggression. That's what we wanted to see from Badonka. It is going to be the radio push. The collapse coming through.
He's sick with that CC.
Very
so
sharp
good.
indeed. But it's just a matter of moments. Smooth Crim's just around the corner. He wants the AWP so badly, but Brace is just waiting. Oh, too slow on the trigger. And now that's the AWP gone. Smooth Crim takes the opportunity, but waits for the aggression. Brace through the smoke. Cover the line, and it's back to the 3v3, but JD now may just be able to come in on the flank. However, there's no one in radio, or there's no one left in hut, rather. As you can see, the CT's just falling off, going to heaven instead.
Smooth Cream's just locked that down for them. Luke's already made his way back around to heaven, exactly like you said, and got the pick onto JD. He's really been the hero for Paradox as well as Badonka. Airborne now trying to get into the vent, but Luke won't let them pass, and Lukey cleans the last one up as well. It's nicely done. That's going to put Paradox back in a comfortable position just in time as well. So, you know, Airborne get one of those pistol half-buy rounds, comes back around. Karma's here, supporting Paradox.
Yep.
Double AWP now. Badonka's going to use the secondary.
Ooh. Well, we'll see how that one goes. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him pushing ramp, honestly. Again, even though he just does have the AWP, but he's going to be playing a long passive approach from elbow instead. As Airborne look like they are just going to go for the quick one, the uppers bust again, and see if they can cause the upset. Comes the U-tilt. Herbs now. Tries to hold the line, but it is going to be a strong crossfire. Herbs will fall as Ino flicks around, tries to get everything done single-handedly. Smooth Crim, his position is known, can't quite finish off Luke, who pulls out the sidearm. Happy to finish it with the USP, and that is going to be the tied ball game, 5-5.
It's a great round from Paradox. 4 players surviving. That's really going to cement their economy going forward. Now, Airborne, are you going to buy up again? And I'd say anything over this point is kind of a bonus here. Their job's already done on the T side, and they've still got 5 more chances at getting through for an additional round on top of that. As for Paradox, they're sort of cementing themselves in a good spot to be able to try to come back and make this at least 9 rounds.
Approaching out as slowly this time. PZ just spotting from on top of Silo before falling down. Looks like it will be the late smokes to come through.
Luke is in the
happy for the default.
Luke is in the nightmare spot for a T. He's just sitting in the back of warehouse with a Krieg. Good luck getting into Annex. Well, they smoke him off. That's definitely going to help. It's the left side smokes from Airborne as they slowly walk their way through outers here. Are they going to commit to this Annex bust? You know, if he gets his gun out and just waits for this, then it's going to be difficult. Does re-smoke it as well.
Might have helped the tease out there, and there it is. I think a flash came through. It didn't hit Ino, but it's JD doing the swinging. As he makes his way through, JD still looking to clear out the site, but Eckle from above is just dishing out damage with that AWP, and again, it's going to be the 3v3 for the retake.
Good to lose Brace there. Smoke goes on to Annex where 3 of the CTs are at this point, so they're going to try and bust through that with a flash. That's not going well for them at all. No,
the flash hits the wrong position. Luke tries to find one blind, but he's going to cop a whole lot of damage. Happy just to run away and try to save the AWP, and I'm sure Sweets heard that one.
That's unfortunate. They're getting a bit overexcited trying to commit there. The bomb only just went down as well. They had plenty of time to complete that retake, but...
Yep. And Airborne were... You know, none the wiser. They had no idea that there was 3 CTs coming in from Annex there.
Yeah.
So, a bit ambitious, a bit over-ambitious, rather. And Luke, he's been spotted, but he will inevitably survive. And Airborne, they go back to the lead 6-5.
And if they win this next round, they're going to be dominating this half at like 8 rounds. They will get the majority. Paradox do have enough to put a buy on the board there. And if they do win this round, they should be okay to stabilize a little bit more. But already the scoreline's getting pretty scary here for the CTs.
They can't let too many more rounds slip, that's for certain. But I won't be surprised if they do, because Airborne are on one, and this time it is going to be the dry push over towards Trophy Room, but Donka making that one work somehow. Easy does manage to win the AWP battle up against Luke this time, but not the second. Herb's just laying in wait on the edge of the smoke, and now it's going to be the 2v4. A rough situation for Airborne, but JD has managed to make his way over towards lockers now. Swing coming through, he's heard the footsteps as well, as Inno has not stayed quiet there. Not sure if the jump has been heard.
Brace is down in secret, throwing some utility. See if that's going to cause a rotation for Paradox off of that upper bomb site. So far, not really.
Well, they've disregarded Heaven. And that's an opportunity. Actually gets spotted, so Herb's just worrying about that at the right moment. And that will allow the trade to come through for Lukey, but they know exactly where Brace is, as he made a whole bunch of noise before. But he's got the time. Let's see what he can do in the 1v3.
Gets 1 or 2 more kills here. It could definitely make a difference. Especially with how good Airborne looked in that round they won with the Deagles. He's just going to bypass Inno, head towards lower. There isn't any CTs towards that part of the map. Badonka's back a lobby. Other two Heaven and reverse vent there.
I guess the best case scenario in this situation is probably the bomb plant, and then from there trying to isolate the fights and maybe clutch out the round, but the bomb plant is surely good enough at this point. It will certainly buff the economy heading into the next round, and the bomb plant's nice and open for him as well.
You play post plant here, you don't really have enough time to get into a great position is the problem. CT's completing that triple retake in from decon side, still do have a smoke, some HE nades, a flash.
There's the opportunity, but Brace, he at least finds one, so it's something. And it will whittle away at that economy of Paradox. So even though they've won this round, you can see the money isn't amazing. They will be able to get a buy utility, probably going to be a bit skew-if, but it's still breaking point for Paradox if they lose another.
What do you reckon about planning on that right side in that kind of situation? I feel like if you're in a 1-on-3 there, like if you're going to plant there, you have to try and take the massive risk of getting across the windows because you can't really play that post plant from Megaton where he was at most of the time. Like, it's pretty hard to peek out those choke points in a 3-on-1. Yeah, usually the way you'll see those lower clutches get converted is when they're in windows and poking between windows and door or going around vent side, etc.
The thing is, he knew that someone was up at Heaven, and because of that, he would have thought that the rotation was probably coming to ramp nice and quickly.
Yeah.
And he had that second thought coming through his mind, so...
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like Megaton is so bad to play post plants a lot of the time if you're a T.
It's very hard. Well, it has been a faster approach from Airborne. They've gone for the squeaky rush, and the big 4-man swing is going to be the nail in Badonka's coffin. So that's the man advantage, and potential for a round to be turned on its head. I thought this would be a write-off there with the pistols, but again, Airborne just seemingly with the rush have done it.
Could be the case. Not over just yet. Still plenty of time for the CTs to complete this retake. Plenty of utility to do it as well, but PZ holding onto the vent. It's a 1-for-1. Still no rifles picked up by Airborne yet.
There we are, starting to be thinned out. Brace not going to be spotted initially, and he's in a good position to clutch this time. Spots him, can't deny the diffuser. There it is, the final bullet connects. Now they know that another's on it, but the cover is there from Inno. Smooth Crim, he swings around, isolates the fight, and again, he's going to win it! Oh my god, Liam has done it! And Airborne clutch it on the P250s. That's big for the economy. Again, winning that one with minimal investment, and Paradox have dropped the ball. Look at the money, Pilly. It is down in the dumps again.
Looking like a 9-6 here on the T side for Airborne. Again, they've just played the rotation so well. And again, Smooth Cream's just done such a fantastic job as that hard lurk player coming around and reading the rotation perfectly. It's the second round that he's completely won or put Airborne in a good position in just coming through on the long flank. And credit to his teammates for buying him enough time to be able to do that. Oh, this is scary here. Luke's up behind them. Inno as well. He's got himself 2. But the other 2 cleaned up quickly by Airborne. Paradox, it's a double rotate into lower as well as Lukey AWPing over towards that ramp area.
Oh, and Badonka, he's playing the off angle here, but it's a matter of who moves first, it seems. Badonka could have the timing. And Swede's so low, surely he'll fall here. This could be another upset round. Oh, Smooth Crim awkwardly tries to get his M4 back in hand, and Swede now left last alive. With the bomb in a very open position, or posted straight on him. Lukey not going to miss those. And Paradox bring it back to a 7 apiece scoreline. So
It's cooked Airborne's money, but end of the day, like, they've got 7 rounds on T side, so it's fine.
it's fine. No worries there for the boys on Airborne, it would seem. We'll see if they can do it with the force bite again in the final round of the half. Who will take the majority? The buy only barely favouring Paradox here. Still feel like Airborne, given their track record, are looking pretty good.
This is good though. We're going to get a better sort of idea of how good Paradox is on this map. Already they're having a shaky CT side, especially against the pistols, it seems. But T side is where I want to see, like, how deep is their playbook? You know, can they work their way through the fundamentals, or is it a bit shaky up? Airborne trying to bait out some initial utility, do lose that pick towards outside. So it's not gone well for them. They've thrown some utility and not really got a whole lot back in return from the CTs.
Oh.
That's filthy.
Dirty spam from PZ finds an entry. As Luke tries to cause some devastation from above, but the AWP on Smooth Crim cannot get it done. In the end, it is going to be Luke to get the trade. And there it is, the 8-7 favouring Paradox. But does it truly? Because we'll see how the T side goes.
Yeah, it's not a great half. Obviously, Airborne getting those 7 rounds on T side, more than job done. So if they have a decent CT side here, they should be able to close this one out and get themselves up 1-0. However, I'm ready to be surprised by Paradox, as I've been time and time again. I constantly predict against them the entire last split, and every single time they prove me wrong. Plus, they did have some pretty good comebacks in some of those maps as well. So this would be another opportunity for them to show us what they're made of. Show that they can put together a good T side here on Nuke, and that they have a wider map pool than the stats would suggest.
I wouldn't be surprised if we have been sleeping on Paradox's T side.
Just been sleeping on Paradox in general, mate.
Yeah. Well, we've known for a long time that what they're capable of. It's just a matter of if they show up on the day, which is obviously what we've spoken about so many times now, which is consistency. And that's all it comes down to. But also, this is a map that they haven't played, so we'll see if we are going to be watching the reverse sweep from Paradox, or if Airborne might just be able to close it out 2-0, because a couple of the gamers there are looking pretty sharp. Smooth Crim and PZ doing the heavy lifting so far.
Alrighty. What's the pistol strat here from Paradox? 2 sets of util, blowing open that door nice and quickly.
Upper's bust, it seems. PZ looks away at just the wrong moment. The CZ might just be able to cause some damage. Misses a whole lot of shots, and that could be his death, but gets the reload off and finds a single. Awkward situation as Paradox were all fully focused on him.
Ooh, double
Bomb take
nade
a
onto the
while
side.
to get down, but the bomb still planted.
Yep, does get down. Double nade cleans up Badonka. Decent post plants here in towards Heart, Squeaky, and Lobby. As you do see, no utility stopping the T's from taking some of these fights. Airborne got the kit for the retake, but no armor on two of their players.
Luke just waiting for the swing on the short side. A little flick, but it is going to be JD to win the engagement. And now the push comes through again. Inno wants to go aggressive, but all of the T's have been mopped up, and a beautiful retake from Airborne will tie the scores 8-8.
Good pistol from them. It's going to get them rolling nice and early on this CT side. Let's see if Paradox are going to go for a similar thing that Airborne did in that second round. Will it be the full investment? Looks like it will be. Lots of Galils and armor, not a whole lot of utility. So what do you do with one set of utility and a whole bunch of boys with armor on the T side? That's my question. Looks like a quick flash in towards upper. They don't commit off the back of it. Good utility usage from Airborne, but surely this is going to be the mid-round bust. Here's the second flash getting lined up by Lukey. Lets it rip.
Ooh, doesn't hit the mark, and an awkward situation at the door. It looks like a smoke block came through as well, but the T's inevitably getting the entries. Now it is going to be PZ trying to deny the late lurk here from Lukey. Bomb goes down for free. Nade hits the mark. Luke goes down to 12. The CTs, they really need to get the work done. And as you can see, Lukey, he has heard PZ with this aggression. The Famous will win the engagement. Body shot comes through, knocks him down to 51. Smooth Cream with the MP9 from Heaven up against the M4. I dare say the round's done. Paradox should have this one unless the retake frags come through. But in the 1v2, PZ, no kit at the moment. There may just be one for him to retrieve. Throws the smoke to draw attention, and it looks like he's just going to exit. Try to get some extra damage done through the door.
Almost saw that connecting is the word I was looking for onto Luke.
Comicking?
The only thing that's not connecting is the neurons in my brain.
Of course. Dare fix will fix it.
That's it. One of those ice cold dares. What's your favourite dare, Mac?
My
I asked you
favourite
last
dare.
time.
Probably the, is it low sugar or no sugar, whatever it is?
No sugar
No,
dare?
added sugar.
No added sugar.
No, added sugar, that one, the blue one. Anyway, we do have, ooh, boys, taking a lot of sugar straight out towards the A site, sweetening up the deal, it seems. Paradox looking good to find a 10th, as it's just a couple of USBs to try to go for the retake and not a whole lot of time to do it. So the bomb's gone down already.
You know what my favourite comment on Dare was from a Twitch chatter? Is Dare just chalky milk? Question mark.
I've seen that a few times. And we're contractually obliged to say, no, it's not. It's beautiful iced coffee with fresh milk. You got to add that. Yeah.
It's in your contract.
Yeah. Ooh, and they're going to go for it. So death from above. JD managed to get some damage done. Bomb going to be planted for the other boys, however. So Paradox still drawn back towards the site. But that is the way the cookie crumbles. It is going to be 10 on the board already. Paradox now starting to show a bit of promise on the T side. We'll see what Airborne can do once they can afford weapons. But again, you know, they have to go for pistol armor unless they want to sacrifice that utility, but it is not going to be the call.
I mean, so far it's been literally just Paradox running straight into uppers every round, and then at different points in the round, and then winning. So I think this was a pretty nice anti-eco. Obviously, the lobby crunches. So they've lost a whole bunch of kills to JD in the late round. I thought it was a pretty good approach from them, honestly. Like,
was for a moment. Oh, but the binks keep coming through. And the binks keep coming, and the binks keep coming.
This
and
is
JD
disgusting.
What are we watching? JD. Who was that? That was a Lukey. Lukey, mate, you need to work on that reaction time. You're getting a bit old, I reckon.
how old is he?
Oh, not that old. Been around for a while, though.
Fair enough.
But, JD, happy to just go and survive with the Krieg.
That's disgusting. I like that from Paradox, though. Like, they threw a whole bunch of utility into upper because, you know, a lot of the time you'll see on that second round just the lobby crunch.
Yeah.
So they throw the util and then they just hold angles, and in theory it worked. In practice, JD held the A and D keys and fired his 5-7 into multiple players. So, you know, what can you do? It's FBI. Okay, I didn't want to see that. Got inside of his head, inside the head of a AD strafer.
There wasn't anything in there.
There wasn't anything in there. That's exactly right.
What do you know? Never would have thought that. No, JD, he's got a brain. We've all seen it before.
A little smooth, though. Smooth Cream. Maybe that's why Smooth Cream is the best. He's got a very smooth brain. Agree? Disagree, Mac?
Smooth brain?
Smooth Cream, smooth brain?
I don't think a smooth brain's good.
No, it's not.
No. So I feel like he's got
a very wrinkly brain, probably.
wrinkly brain. Lots of wrinkles, lots of wisdom.
Yep. Wrinkle for every game of Counterstrike. Is the util towards upper again. Paradox not going to commit off the back of it. Haven't seen any outers play. They've thrown the outers smokes, but they haven't used them.
No.
Nice nade in towards radio there. Nice damage from Smooth Cream.
The thing is as well, Brace is at the back of Warehouse, so he's going to hear anything happening at lowers. Seems like it's going to be the ramp bust coming through. PZ on the double up, tries to hold the line, but he will fall back.
So what do Paradox do in this situation? They've got ramp room control. They're going to commit in towards lower, but already there's two players, Smooth Cream and JD, over towards Windows side here.
It'll be very hard to deal with, unless, of course, the double bink comes through. Inno looking sharp, but not for the second. JD goes wide again. Bedonka at the double doors, brings it back to the 3v3, but Brace is close on the rotation. As he doubles back over towards the window room, Lukey's swinging very wide, and he's going to fall down, so Lukey and Badonka, last two alive.
It's got to be Badonka here pushing over towards window side to get the job done here for Paradox.
Oh, he's going through as well. He's going to be able to come in on the flank. The CTs have no idea that this one's coming for him. Lukey just needs to draw the attention, but the double doors have at least been shut, so the defense may just be able to come through. Hits the shot, but can't land the spray transfer, so that retake will come through successfully for Airborne, but that could have gone either way.
Definitely could have.
You could see that Airborne, fortunately, they were taught nice, good manners growing up to shut the door behind them. Won them the round.
So Paradox's T side so far seems like a series of quick plays in the early and mid round. No like map control, exploring secret or anything. It's more like we throw some grenades and then 5 of us will all go here.
I believe it's called a linear approach.
I don't think that's what linear means, but anyway.
Easy to read.
Oh, 2 for 2.
Not too many variables.
That's it.
Well, the variables seem to be where the bullets are spreading, where they're hitting. Oh, and that one's devastating.
A nightmare. They've got 2 more mollies though, Mac. It's all right.
It's all right. We'll see how many times they can miss the mollies if they're going to be thrown. But Brace has drawn a whole lot of attention. Unfortunately, Smooth Crimp couldn't make his way through. Now, they know exactly where Brace is, but he doesn't want to let go of the Krieg himself as Paradox edge towards the 12th round now.
Badonka and Luke show.
Just getting it done. No matter where they go, it's them on the entry bandwagon. And we thought that this was Airborne's map, but a slower approach to the second half has certainly allowed Paradox to get very close to the victory indeed.
It's just been good fundamentals from Paradox, honestly. They're not doing anything crazy on this T side. They're essentially just, you know, throwing nades and either going, you know, heavy ramp or heavy into upper. But that's not the, you know, the beauty of the T side. The beauty is all in the small things that they do, the spacing, the trade potential. They're never getting, you know, 2 for 0'd or anything like that. It's always 1 for 1 followed by another 1 for 1 or a 2 for 1 sometimes for Paradox. They're getting the trades and then they're able to break down the mid round from there. And that's what's giving them so much success so far.
And it looks like it might just be a fast one again. We'll see if they go down the ramp this time. Not just yet, but Brace certainly just taps away. Find a nice first pick onto Badonka, but PZ in the corner just with the USP. Can't find that one-shot headshot because the USP is not capable of it. So Brace continues to cause some devastation with the Krieg that they have. JD's got his mitts on an AK of his own.
2 upgraded pistols as well for Airborne. So in theory, yeah, he's in the perfect spot. He's got the Krieg. He's on the stairs on the headshot line. Beautiful.
And Brace might just be the hero of the round. Can't quite find the other one.
Why not? Why not use the scope? It's making that shot harder for yourself.
Hard rotation has come through from 2 of the CTs. Paradox have the time to double back and be thorough in their approach towards the A site.
Swede's in a great spot though. In that, is he hut? I think he's in hut. Yeah, he's just chilling in hut.
And he's got the AK to play with as well.
JD just chilling around ramp room over towards Megaton side at this point. Paradox are going to walk through that heaven area in towards that upper bomb site. Obviously, Swede is at hut. So if he chooses his timing correctly here, he should just be able to secure a 3-on-1 at least for Airborne. If he has poor timing here, he's going to give Paradox a freebie.
Molly gets put in the wrong direction. Swede manages to deny the bomb plant, and there's minimal time now. Inno has to go for the stick.
Got it.
There is a flank coming up through heaven, and the timing may just favour JD. Oh, he's missed his opportunity. Doesn't go for the hard commit. And Inno able to isolate the fight, but it is going to be the swing from JD to clutch it in the end. And Airborne caused the upset on the pistols. There it is. So get it done with some great positioning.
Those were good Molotovs from Paradox. All they had to do was just stop Swede from swinging and killing the planter. If he goes down for free, that's probably a round for Paradox. But securing that 2-on-1, lovely done. Lovely, lovely stuff.
Lovely stuff.
Yep. Words are hard today. So what are we feeling here? Mac, Paradox, they don't have a whole lot of loss bonus. They've just emptied their bank accounts.
Well, I'm feeling this is a Paradox round. I reckon they'll cause the upset. Although this is one of the first rounds we've actually seen that Airborne have had close to full utility.
Paradox have actually gone towards outers for once. Gonna triple walk down in towards that secret side.
PZ.
See the feet?
Yeah, I think he just spotted the foot.
Loves looking at those toes. Many AWPers, big fans of that.
A little bit slow on the trigger, however. Still, it's just Smooth Crim down below, and he's going to be playing from the window side of Mega.
Definitely hear the utility towards lower at this point. It's
No
going to
one's
be
here to stop it.
Yeah, it's going to be vent control for Paradox.
Counter utility comes through for Smooth Crim to get him back on the line.
That's a filthy line on a Krieg, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. He's going to go for the danger shots as well, but JD's gone down. Does this trigger the rotation straight back? No, PZ denies the split at ramp now.
They're just waiting. Ino's going to just shooting towards Annex. Now he's made his way over towards Heaven here, applying a bit more pressure. Paradox just waiting for him to get a pick or get some information.
Surely that one's been heard. The scope coming through from Smooth. No, Smooth Crim hasn't heard it. Maybe the comms just filtering this one. Back to back. Oh, there it is. Just barely spots him.
So Paradox going to commit in towards upper. Swede's already there.
Smooth Crim might just be able to come on the fast flank as well. There it is. The hold comes through. It's all up to Luke in the 1v3. Taps the bomb, waits for PZ to slow push into Bart. But he is going to hit that shot anyway, so awkward situation. But Airborne, they are getting it done, and another round goes on the board looking to tie it up.
Yeah, it was a decent round for them to be able to come away with. Obviously, a lot of it came down to Ino getting that timing or not getting that timing, and Smooth Crim deals with him, and then he's able to flank with the Krieg as well. So it's a good round for Airborne to get. They can't afford to lose guns here, though. Their economy is still a little bit on the fragile side. It hasn't built up fully yet, but if they're able to come away with 4 or 5 guns here, they're going to be cruising.
Oh, but the faster approach over towards the back of Warehouse, it seems. Looks like it's actually going to need to drop into Annex with a bit of a split put into the mix, and the Deagle might just be able to get some extra damage done, but the nades will mop them up. Good utility usage to deny any more than the single kill for Paradox. And Airborne, there it is.
It's good stuff. 4 guns surviving. Paradox now, I mean, even now, look at their money. Still not enough for full utility, not enough for an AWP if they even want one. So it's going to be difficult for them to close out this T side. Obviously, you're looking at Airborne, have a pretty good economy behind them. It looks like they've got their head screwed on this CT side fairly well. Paradox, are they going to be able to make use of this lack of util to be able to come away with a round here? But they need more than just one. They need multiple in a row.
Was that the first tack we've seen this game?
No, I think there was another one. Oh, it might have been. Maybe that was a tech. Can't remember.
Maybe there was one more. Anyway, we're live anyway, so we can just talk about the game more.
Yep, love that game.
Yeah.
That Counterstrike, it's a good
A
one.
little bit of Counterstrike.
I was explaining to someone today that Counterstrike is that there are players who play in this league that are younger than Counterstrike. And they were like, "What?"
It's the same with any sport.
Yeah, but it's a video game, Mac. I was talking to someone who's a little older.
Oh, okay.
Just telling you. That sort of, spells it out. I won't say the word, but it rhymes with
Schooner.
Yes. Something I also say at my work fairly often. Schooner or a pint or a stein. You look like a stein guy, Mac, honestly. I would try
When
and
you
sell you a
commentate.
stein.
Mate, get me a stein a dare any day.
Stein of dare, I rate that.
Let's go. Oh, and the flank.
Oh.
The swing comes through. It's actually PZ with the nade to finish. Big hold coming out from Airborne.
I mean, again, it's a pretty simplistic round. Not that Paradox really had the utility to be able to pull off anything else crazy. Luke's on the lurk over there towards outside. Found himself a kill. Meanwhile, the other 2 players on Paradox holding hands in towards ramp room here. Luke's on a tear right now. He's found himself 2 and is now starting to apply pressure through Annex while Paradox flank in towards lobby side as well as Heaven.
They have no idea that Swede's still up here. Over towards Mustang, and I dare say it's death from above. There it is, but the flank comes through Heaven, and that is the A site now on the 2v1. Smooth Crim has to try to come and clutch this one.
How have they done that? 5 on 3, and Luke's just come away with some beautiful flank kills, and then Paradox has split up beautifully and hit the timings. Not over yet, though. Smooth Crim is definitely capable of clutching this.
Oh, but he doesn't know that Lukey was just around the corner. Lukey happy to hold the line. CT vent the call. But Lukey in that position did have the slight advantage, especially with the slow peak coming out from Smooth Crim. And Paradox now find another.
That's a round they should never have been given. That's all Luke doing the heavy lifting in the mid-round, and then late round they just converted that one beautifully as a team. Still, Airborne do have enough money to be able to buy here, and only surviving with 2 guns at the end of that round from Paradox is going to be difficult for them in terms of the money. Paradox knows this is the breaking point. They get 14 here and put Airborne on a soft reset. That's going to give the match point. And winning Nuke would make this definitely easier.
So what's going on? Why are we back on the synths rather than the violins?
I'll just have one.
Did Jordan order the violins out? Did he have too much PTSD from overtimes? Or is violins just
Oh, don't.
OT
I
only?
just realised how close this game is. Don't even say that word.
Why not? Look, I'm recovered. I'm happy to see some OT. Billy's shaking his head. He's not a fan. Does not like the idea at all. But again, faster approach over towards Squeaky for Luke. Brace not going to go for the spam this time, which would have maybe found him a kill. Just not feeling it with the M4 instead. Out of smokes coming through from Paradox, and it looks like they are going to be sending one man in that direction, but the rest of the boys going to be looking to fight for control at radio. Oh, but PZ.
Oh, the gap in the smoke just
There it
spots
is.
out the toes.
Yep. And that's the problem with the slow peek, or the slow creep into secret. It's any gap can make you a victim, but here comes the push towards uppers now. The hold looks good for the moment. Sweet, good for 2. As JD hides around the corner, just wants to buy some time for the rotations, try to keep man advantage even. No one in charge at the moment, but the HP certainly favouring Airborne in the post plants. And another found by Luke, who may just be able to do this single-handedly. No, Donkey Boy on the line gets it done.
It's 4 on 5.
And that's
Oh,
the dirty
4 on
30.
4, sorry. 4 on 4, and they just, all of them roll out a door and get it done. Very simplistic approach, but they've done it once again.
Here's that shot that we missed as well. So the tiny gap just allowing for enough information for PZ to slot that one straight through the smoke.
That's it. It's going to give Paradox 15th round, should they, unless they lose to a single P250 and 4 USPs.
Paradox looking good to go over to map point on the back of this round. We'll see if they can hold it or if the upset does ensue. It's the contact plate. Herbs taking any damage initially. The bink comes through jumping as PZ shuts it down. There's a rifle retrievable, but Paradox, how will they play the man advantage? Oh, there's another found. It looks like it should be easy pickings. We'll see where PZ goes with that AK over towards Mega, but he can't deny the cross with the bomb. Might be able to deny Lukey passage to safety, but Eckle on the line. He's looking sharp as ever. PZ almost gets wall banged, but he takes the opportunity to get his favourite weapon as well, but he's going to throw that one away, looking back for the AK. Head spotted. It's awkward timing in the nade. It should dust it. No, he gets around the corner in time, but the 2-man setup over towards the stairs there is just too much. Paradox, they've done it. They've gotten to a 15th round on the T side. So we wrote them off in that first half, but they've managed to put our feet in our mouths.
Yeah. And each, you know, there's only 2 feet, which is Luke and Badonka.
Yep.
And both of them are in our mouths and Airborne's mouths. They're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Bragging up a storm right now.
It is just both of those individuals going ham here for Paradox. And just some good fundamentals on the trades getting them through Nuke here. But I have to say, you know, it's not surprising to see Paradox converting this map in this fashion, because it's the way they play a lot of other maps as well. Just very, very simplistic, sort of straightforward, no-nonsense CS. Some basic utility, you know, on Mirage, they run that mid control very well. On Inferno, they're very good at fighting for that banana control and then going back towards bracket. It's always just the stock standard sort of players that seem to work very well for Paradox.
They just have the aim to back it up as well, but ooh, JD in a good position to deny the push out towards site from top hut. He fights. It's Brayson Swede getting the mix as well, but there it is. It's all up to Lukey, who gets a single trade, but the flank coming from the trophy room is looking too strong. However, he slots his way into Squeaky. Can't hit the sharp one. And there it is. 13 on the board for Airborne now. And the money isn't there for a full buy, so Paradox might just have to try to win it in the final round of regulation, but I dare say a half buy would be all that's on the cards here.
Yeah, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for, to just buy Luke or Badonka a Hero Krieg here. Just get a couple pistols, put a Krieg into Luke's hands or Badonka's hands and try to get the bomb down.
Set him up for victory.
Yep.
Something we're not seeing from Paradox is that vent rush. The vent drop.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to keep doing these similar things.
Yeah.
I think,
Just keep doing what you're doing.
they're just, a lot of the time, they're just running into upper, or they're running out ramp.
Yep.
Or one person's winning the round for them.
I call him Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Because I was running everywhere. Can't
Okay.
stop, won't stop. Well, looks like we are going to see the boost straight back towards Mustang. Like Airborne were expecting a rush towards the A site there. Precautionary utility thrown.
Good timing.
Whoa, decent damage. Softening up the T's there for Swede to try to get a couple, but the molly will burn him to his grave.
Interesting.
More of a cremation.
Hard committing in for those eco frags. It's one way to do it.
Trying to secure it as best as he could. 2 towards uppers now. 2 towards lowers. Paradox happy just to try to fight. The Krieg is still there.
You definitely don't want to be losing another gun or two here for Airborne heading
No.
into this last round. You can't afford it.
At the moment, Paradox are completely locked down. It's just a matter of where they want to go. Luke does have one single flash to play with. This is the mark. That's a very tight line being held by PZ, and pistols are getting dangerously close towards him now. At least he has the glass as cover. He's going to miss a very crucial one, and that's going to be an AWP retrievable by Luke here.
And I'm not sure they'll be able to repurchase that, to be honest.
Oh, but Luke with an AWP. It's a 2v3.
Yep.
There is a chance. No, okay. There was a chance for a moment that it was a round turned on its head.
They've recovered the AWP. That's good. They would have been able to rebuy, but it would have cost someone a lot of utility. So end of the day, not too bad. For Airborne, they will still be able to put together a good buy. Paradox will be able to go for one as well. One match point left here for Paradox. One more round to get it done, and it seems like Airborne's really cottoned on to this uppers hit that they're doing. They shut that down very well in the last round. Here's the outside smokes. Paradox just going to use those.
But look where Airborne are. 4 over towards Heaven, Lockers, and the A site, which is going to leave out as extremely open.
Oh, is
However,
that a molly? Molly putting out
Yep.
that other smoke? Yep.
it certainly is. So the out is molly just enough to leave a huge gaping gap, but
Oh.
PZ misses his opportunity. Looks like he actually went for the quick switch just at the wrong time.
So they've smoked Annex for Paradox and gone back towards lobby side. Ino's made his way into Secret, and it looks like Airborne very well aware of that. Now it's a smoke over there towards Warehouse, I think. As Ino starts to probe and poke in towards Secret, it is to creep in towards Annex now, as Herbs is in Hut, and Paradox looks like they're going to slow creep in towards Upper now.
Does have the counter util to play with. We'll see if the rotations come in time. Sweet from above again, just tapping away at the toes. Can't quite finish off Badonka, who's now going to be last alive. And in the 1v3, Badonka is going to have to go huge here to get anything done, but it is going to be overtime secured.
Yeah, so Paradox just didn't have... I mean, it was too close in the first half. If they've got more rounds on the CT side, the uppers hits and quick annex split or whatever else the ramp stuff they were doing would have been enough to get them across the line.
But you got to remember, we do have even standings here now, so this is where boys become men in overtime.
That's it, but it's what I'm getting to, you know, like, they don't have a deep enough playbook to be able to close it there. And now, you know, with the full utility in towards overtime, are they going to actually have some more things to throw in the mix there, or are they just going to keep bashing their heads into upper and running into ramp with the full util up against, you know, a full util CT side, potentially a double AWP if they want? They do know how to throw those outer smokes, but I haven't seen them necessarily use it to go towards lower at this, you know, in towards the late round very well.
I dare say we won't see a double AWP setup coming out because
did you say
how
dare?
many? I did say dare.
I think you should speak about that, because Dare is one of our sponsors, actually, if you haven't heard.
Are they?
Great coffee.
Great coffee. Love a good caffeination sensation.
You like how it feels on your mustache. That's the sensation you're looking for.
We leave my fetishes out of this, please. We're in a professional environment, Billy.
Paradox are going lowers. That's what I want to see.
They're going super late too. Those smokes looking like they're about to fade, and that's going to be a free one. PZ finds it through his teammate, and that's a whole lot of damage done to Luke as well.
Not ideal. Smooth Crim already down in toward lower. You got Ino on the late lurk. He's on silo. Could jump down towards Annex side.
Whoop.
Hasn't been spotted though, so he's not going to get anything done. He's going to have to go back towards lobby.
Paradox take the dangerous approach to the B site. They don't go for control room, and they don't use the util to cover off Mega. But for Smooth Crim, he's going to be demolished by the spam over towards the rafters there. Bedonka knows the lineup. But in the 2v3, it's going to be a hard retake for Airborne to accomplish. Especially if they let Bedonka get too close. He's in a very strong position. If he can take the fight here with PZ, that'll bring it back to even standings. It's just a matter of where JD comes from. He's making a whole lot of noise going down the vent. But head spotted. There it is. The lineup comes through. And Bedonka at Emo. It's going to be hard for Brace to deal with, as well as this rotation through. Lukey has found JD as well. And there it is. Paradox, they win it in the 2v3.
Again, it's individuals stepping up.
Hashtag get doinked.
Overall, that didn't really work for them. You know, they got collated on outside. I felt like Airborne knew what all their positions were, but they weren't able to convert that round. I'd say playing a bit better of a team there, Paradox, they probably don't win that.
Okay. So what you're saying is Bedonka's a noob basher. Again.
I give him credit, that was pretty impressive. And he's having a great game here, and he's definitely had some big rounds. He's probably the main reason Paradox is still in this.
All right, I'm interested to see the decision of Airborne going for that double op setup, because as I was saying before, didn't think we'd see it, because Paradox have gone for a whole lot of aggressive strategies. And double op on the retake on Nuke, like, yeah, it certainly can work, but it's very dangerous.
I mean, usually I'm used to Paradox losing rounds in disadvantageous man situations a lot of the time. But I have to say, on Nuke here, they've been losing picks and still coming away with it. Again, Luke is just lining up this flash to send the boys out of door.
There's a whole lot of boys on that A site for Airborne right now. Oh, spray not coming through. Bedonka couldn't get the one way over the smoke there, but he does just tank that nade. Another smoke coming through. And this is telegraphing so much.
Yeah, they're just waiting forever.
They're running out of time. Smoke rotation too much, it seems.
This is what happens when Paradox can't get into upper. Don't know what to do anymore.
And it's utility that's just completely winning this round for Airborne right now. Smooth Crim, second opportunity, connects as well. Drops the util that he can, but PZ can't deny the drop just yet. There it is. Second and a third. Big holds coming through at the ramp room. And it's all up to Bedonka again, but he's got 10 seconds. The dream probably cracked at this point. 2 on lowers, 3 at uppers. There's no way that he gets anything done. And it is going to be the collapse there at the ramp over towards Mega. Airborne tying it up at 16 apiece. Who will take the advantage heading into the second half?
No need to pause, guys. We're already in overtime. Let's just get it over with, you know? Let's just get it done. That's what I say.
Just dragging out the inevitable. Well, Airborne have taken us here, so you would expect them to want this a little bit more.
That's the Jordan Mays rule.
Yep.
Why is there a claw underneath there?
To hook out the radioactive things.
Ah.
Isn't that the whole point? Because it's nuclear, right? So it's like a radioactive power plant, and you got to do everything underwater so it doesn't explode. I don't know how it works. I'm not a nuclear physicist or nuclear... I'm not Homer Simpson, is what I'm saying. Big hold. Big shots. Big round from Airborne. Well, here we are. Live again. Bit of action. This time Paradox attempting to go for those outer smokes, but it looks like on the map that they're slightly cooked. However, that Molly's missed the mark, so Paradox, they're going to go for a faster approach towards lowers. Will Airborne get caught off guard?
Well, Smooth Crim's only now just rotating in through that Megaton's hide. He's smoked off Decon.
He's in a strong position if no one comes through Decon.
Racer's going to join him as well.
Got some bad timing, but his position spotted. May just be able to use some extra utility, but the smoke's his saviour. He does try to reposition. Probably spotted there on the gap, you'd say. Very smooth Crim. Goes for the re-peek. Oh, and Inno just disregards his position. So apparently not spotted. Smoke was there, but it is going to be Lukey and Luke.
Oh,
Double Luke's to try to bring
he's
this
gone
one
into
back.
upper. PZ's on the rotate in through radio room side. Luke's got only that flash to try and hold onto lobby.
Ooh! They're going loud. They're
It's
going
sharp.
proud. And again, we might just be seeing a 2v3-1. Now posted towards up. Is this the last man
Disgusting.
found?
It's just the individuals every time for Paradox.
They're doing it. Luke with the 3k, Lukey with the 2k, and another big round found by Paradox. I can't
You got to be
keep
kicking.
watching
You
these,
got to
you
be
know?
kicking yourself if you're Airborne. The amount of times that they've had a clear advantage in a lot of these rounds, and they're just chucking them in the bin.
Yeah. There's just so much aggression. It's not what we're used to seeing at this level of play, you know? Usually, people don't have that confidence to go for the swings into lobby when you know someone's coming, but, you know, you don't know where anyone is. They really didn't know where half of the CTs were, but just managed to isolate them.
I think Paradox have definitely got the confidence lately.
Yeah.
Seem like
It's
confident
not even
team,
lately.
just in general.
Just in general, they've always had that confidence.
Sure.
Just doesn't shine through as much against some of the better teams. But recently has, so. Paradox play best when Paradox are playing their game. That's what it comes down to.
True. What happens when their game stops working, Mac? Do they have to reinstall it?
Probably. Lots of people do. Sometimes it's just better to go for a restore, but don't forget to back up your auto exec, because I had to do that recently. Had to download a really old one and try to update it. It takes a while.
I used to have all that stuff, and nowadays I...
Type in my sensitivity and I'm good to go.
That's it. You even have a menu where you could do your crosshair.
True veteran.
That's it. JD's gone down early. Paradox looking like they might be getting themselves onto match point here, and I dare say if they beat Airborne here on Nuke, they're just going to win this series 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I thought Airborne were a shoe-in on Nuke, considering Paradox haven't played it before, but Paradox just coming in with the raw skill to try to back it up.
That's it. Big plays.
It's been working out.
It's going to be
Fake
onto
up
the
is hit.
side.
Might even be the double pump. It's baited out a whole lot of utility. The ramp push comes through, but Donker in a good position,
Ooh.
drops his head. Nice little pop flash as well to slow down the push. That's big. Swede now stopped in his tracks, and we can't see the drop from Brace either. Herbs was already down in the vent lane and wait, and in the 2v4, Paradox have this 2-man advantage. That's massive. Big positioning from Badonka there at Dark. Swede tries to wrap through.
It has been smoked off. That does isolate this 1v1. Extra person now dropping. It's Luke in through vent now.
I realise where Badonka roughly has to be, but PZ got the nose scope, swing through the smoke to get that trade through. And 3 alive for Paradox is massive, as now they are on match point. And they've got so much money, just taking one of these rounds to get it done. Airborne, they have their last opportunity, but we'll see if they fall early again, because that seems to be their crux. They're not good at playing from those man disadvantages. Well, they haven't
Interesting
been.
game. You said Brace wasn't going to frag.
Yep. Was I wrong?
What are you talking about, Mac?
He's doing all right. You know, it's his first ANZ game in a while.
It was on that,
Mark
what
and
are they
Larry.
called? Yeah, they had a different name though. Justice.
Justice, yeah, that's right.
What a name, Justice. Feel like I'm watching a superhero movie or something.
Yeah. Very courageous.
What would his superpower be, Brace? Does he, like, help an old lady walk across the road who's got a bit of a bung leg?
I reckon it'd be more of a trying a big brain. You know, like a Magneto sort of thing. I reckon it'd be like a Magneto.
Oh, it's nice work from Inno. He's killed half of the Airborne team, or over half, in terms of HP.
Just shutting them down. It seems Swede missed his opportunity to slot his way into the warehouse.
Smooth Crim's still alive though. This man could walk through Squeaky and get something done. Then maybe it's a possibility here.
Through the smoke they go, and Herbs, he is going to lock it down. There it is. The victory in overtime at Paradox, taking the first map already. And what a performance in overtime. Look, I thought that Airborne had just done way too much in regulation for Paradox rather to deal with it in the second half. But Paradox just proven us wrong again, and we do have Mirage next on the cards.
Yeah, I like the approach from Airborne though, to go a bit wider on the map pool, try to win a map off of Paradox in that manner. I would say they threw away a lot of rounds where they did have definitive advantages. You know, lots of 2v5s, 3v5s won by Paradox in that game. And although Paradox, they looked a little bit one-dimensional on that T side, they still were able to get across the line. And definitely some big individual games there from Badonka and Luke got them across the line there. So I'd say they're in a great spot to close this series out, heading into Mirage and then Inferno.
Yeah, look, Luke was looking very sharp indeed. I was surprised by Badonka's performance. Obviously, he did frag really hard against Order the other day, but he seemingly has brought that over into the split too. And if he can keep that up, Paradox, they might just be looking very good to take not only this series, but maybe even a couple more games in the upper bracket. They came in as first seed for a reason.
100%, yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. So, I mean, getting that upper bracket win, not having to go through that lower bracket run that they did in the last time might be exactly what they need to just make it that one step further that they failed to do in the last split.
Yeah, you know, just second chances, they are good, especially knowing from the upper bracket that, you know, you do have that fallback option. Yep. And who would they be going up against next? It would be the winner of, the next game we have, I guess. So, Rooster and Skyfire. That's if they get there. Look, we're riding off Airborne at this point because that was their opportunity to take a map in this series. They could come back and keep swinging, keep going hard.
Yeah.
You know, JD, he was sleeping a little bit, I feel. He got some good plays in that game, but I was expecting a little bit more from him. That's exactly what Airborne rather, needed for them to probably close out that match, but he was sleeping today. Swede as well wasn't performing up to the standard I hold him to.
Yeah, maybe. I think they played okay across the board. I think it really was just a lot of man advantage rounds that they threw away, a lot of opportunities that went missing there, and you know, it was quite a close game. I think they already set themselves up on that T side to win that game. You know, they even won a couple of pistol rounds and stuff like that against Paradox, but definitely on that CT side wasn't solid enough to get them across the line, and couldn't deal with a couple of big rounds from Luke and Badonka.
Well, we'll see if Luke and Badonka can take this forward over to Mirage, because that's where we're heading after this break. Able to deny the cross initially, and he gets his head taken straight off, but it's going to be Herbs to hold, almost the triple, but he has to go for the reload, and then the push comes in, the swing is there. Huge amount of util going to be used by Airborne, but there's the Deagles. Oh, the cross there, it is perfect positioning. It's an awkward position, but the head spotted. He had the lineup for so long. Finish it eventually. Might be able to get it done, but he has to go through that molly. Good move. Taking a whole lot of damage, gets the spam it down to 2. Cannot get the work done. Molly towards the elbow. Won't stop Luke from hitting another.
To make this even harder.
Disregarded Badonka there with the line, and there's so much money in the bank with that win as well. If they can take down Badonka, that's another weapon retrievable.
Float back away.
Just,
that's why.
Taking the AWP battle there straight through the vent. But look at this aggression. That's what we wanted to see from the util. Herbs now. Tries to hold the line, but it is going to be a strong crossfire. Herbs will fall as you know.
Point, so they're going to try and bust through that with a flash. That's not going well for them at all.
No, the flash hit. PZ.
Oh,
Decent damage. Softening up the T's there for Swede to try to... Oh, it's a 2v3. There is a chance. No, guys, super late too. Those smokes are about to fade, and that's going to be a free one.
I'll give him credit. That was pretty impressive.
There's just completely winning this round for Airborne right now. Smooth Crim second off Izzy. Can't deny the drop just yet. There it is. Second and a third. It has to be, but Izzy with no scope. Swing through the smoke.
Mr. Murray, have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
Calamari.
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 Let's make it Jack.
Drink it through with Dare iced coffee.
laying 3 now as well.
Oh my God! What is that?
Welcome back as we are about to transcend into Mirage, the second map in the series between Paradox and Airborne, as Paradox did cause the upset there on Nuke. You know, that was Airborne's map pick, and we didn't expect Paradox to be taking that one at all, but they did. They certainly managed to cause the upset, take us to overtime, which we seem to be getting a lot of lately, and then carrying it over in the first OT, which is good, so we didn't have a double OT.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly like you said. Whoever takes it into OT should be taking it away, but it wasn't the case that time, unfortunately.
Not this time, not with Airborne, no.
No. Instead, you know, Paradox just got back on the horse and got it over the line. So it's good to see.
Always good to see people getting back on the horse, you know, just when you think that they're about to fall off the reins, they just get back up and giddy up their way forward.
Isn't that what the little, like, stirrup things or whatever they're called on the side are for? So you don't fall off?
Use stirrups? I don't even use the gear.
Oh, yeah, you just
jump
back.
on the horse, you know?
You have your shirt off, you know, chest hair all out, mustache flying in the wind.
Not on broadcast, all right? We always wear at least a little bit of clothing.
Yep.
All right? So.
Obligated to, of course.
Obligated.
Yep.
Look, if
we don't want to let Mac get the love rug out too much. It's just a little teaser.
if I could have it my way, don't you worry, I'd be taking control of this broadcast. But we'd be banned, so that's okay with it. It's for the best that
Probably
I'm not
TOS.
in
You should
charge.
probably be familiar with that Mac more than most people, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we do have Mirage up ahead of us. And Pilly, who do you think's going to take it? Because I reckon it's going to be the 2-0 for Paradox. They're just looking too good right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yep. 2-0. Easy. Upper bracket.
Yeah. Oh, Pilly also found out a nice little bit of information in that break as well.
Oh,
So,
come on. We don't put the players on blast. We do not.
Well, it's not
we
on
don't
blast.
do that.
This is a bit sad for Airborne, you know, so they're going to be feeling this one.
I don't advocate this Mac, but all right, go for it, mate.
Paradox don't scrim nuke. Paradox don't play nuke. And Paradox just won nuke. So maybe they should pick it up. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, they had enough strats to win it there, so
Yep.
you know, anything over that, they'll probably work on it and keep improving at it and widen up their map pool a little bit. I would say that's probably their one sort of downfall as a team at this point, is that they really just don't have a wide map pool.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe nuke's the next step to just take it that little bit wider. And maybe, you know, when you get into best of 3 series like this, come prepared for the maps that you're going to play, rather than have to maybe try to wing it a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Paradox is a team that can definitely wing it and still get stuff done a lot of the time. You know, they favour that simple approach. They have just solid trades. So even if, you know, they don't have some crazy game plan with in-depth strategies and tactics and all that, I feel like all they need is just a couple of the boys to get out into the bomb site, and you've got either of any of the players that can sort of clutch it out, especially Luke though. He set up Luke in a post plant. He's just rubbing his hands together. Give him a couple people to bait and he's all good to close it out.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. He just needs a couple sacrifices for the Cult of Ekel, and then he's easy.
Just a couple. Just enough to get him extremely excited. A little bit rowdy. But now it looks like it might be a faster approach towards the A site. Airborne, however, they have the read. They're going to go for the 3-man stack towards this site. So you two are coming through. Second smoke able to be thrown as well. May just be the double pump, but here comes the flash straight through as JD from Triple tries to fight, goes for the repeaks and manages to find one eventually. PZ in the corner, holds strong, and this round could be over before it's begun. Luke now going to be stuck in the corner with a P250 with 30 seconds into the round and a 5v1. Luke has a whole lot of work to do, and that was a fast one indeed.
It's a hard read.
See what that reminds me of?
What is it?
Western Union money transfers.
Why?
Because
they're
so
fast.
quick. So quick.
That's fair.
Over in the blink of an eye.
I got a Western Union transfer from my dad when I was in America once. Nice little cash injection.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely felt pretty dodgy walking out, you know, holding that much money in cash. Usually I'm not a big cash holder, but, you know.
Probably not safe to carry that much. But
No, but, you know, that's not on Western Union. That's all on me.
yeah. Were you holding it in your hands?
Oh, yeah, just waving it around in the air, you know.
Flexing on everyone.
That's it. No, but still, you know.
Typical Pilly move.
I was a young'un. It's a little man.
The intimidation factor is height.
Yep. We don't all have the guns to work with like you, Mac, you know.
Speaking of guns, it's Airborne with them. Paradox just have the Glocks to play with here. Bink comes through onto PZ, but no follow-up just yet. The bomb is now going to be isolated over towards window as JD swings his way down short. And there it is, 2 on the trot already. Airborne looking good. Strong start to the map on the CT side.
Okie dokie.
Ooh, into the third, Paradox looking like they're going to be buying up.
Yep, of course they will. I want to get some rounds on the board. Here's a smoke into window, smoke onto top mid. There's an opening frag. Lukey just straight through that flash, does take out JD. That's going to be a man advantage here for Paradox.
I'll tell you what else is an advantage. I've just been egoed. That's alright, Pilly. Well, save that one for another time then. Anyway. Airborne now at the disadvantage. Looking like Swede may just be able to sneak his way up into the corner on the couch here.
Just chilling on the off angle. He's got a FAMAS though, so if he gets 1 kill, I'll be impressed.
Oh, and yep, so very impressed indeed. Badonka, he's going to be sent down to 20 HP himself. Almost an even trade.
Quick little 1-for-1. Should put Paradox in a good position. Luke's going to jump up. Oh, it's actually Badonka going to jump up onto the side there. Nice little off angle as the CTs come out of market.
Nah, Airborne aren't going for this one.
Surely not.
It's just exits. Easy. Almost got away with that one. Luke and Badonka need to exit as fast as they can. Just barely getting out of the range of that bomb explosion radius. So Paradox, they get their first round on the board. Into the fourth we head. Paradox looking like they may just be able to double this one up as Airborne. They're going to go for the force. They have something to say about losing the previous. What kind of statement can they make here?
Well, they have more FAMASes, so that doesn't help. That never helps.
No. That's a good point.
Like it's just going to be a creep out A. The retake with the FAMAS from Brace, not a whole lot the man can do. It's going to get flashed in by Smooth Crim, I think. There's the flash over CT.
Allowing for the peak, but no one coming or committing too hard just yet. Smoke's coming and being thrown late as anything, and awkward situation as PZ now takes
the bomb.
Pick. Yep, Badonka goes a little bit too over ambitious. As Luke tries to get everything done himself from up on default, but that is not the position you want to be in. There it is, Airborne. Successful. There's not even a retake, more of a sight hold, as the bomb was never planted. And will send themselves to a third.
Would have liked them to see them just try and put the bomb down. A lot of teams feel like they're not getting if they're not getting that pick, then they won't go for the plant. Which I don't know how I feel about that. It's forced out of Paradox though. Smoke onto top mid, smoke straight into window. You know, and Luke going to try and make these AKs work. Smoke onto top con.
But look at the timing, Inno. He's made his way into ladder, but up on the top he goes. JD already on the line, ready for the hunt. Can he find the double? As Luke, no. Can't get past the line. Great crossfire going to be set up there. Paradox unable to make these trades come through.
PZ as well as Brace in pretty good positions. Retake CT jungle, now seeing the double push up on towards bricks.
Whoa, Herbs flashes himself there. A little unfortunate.
It's already a good spot in jungle that Brace is in, though. It's very safe positions. It's going to be pretty hard for Paradox to do anything here. It would have to be a pretty big mistake from either Brace or PZ to give them an in into this round.
Thought we might have seen that, but Brace out in the open, happy just to hold there with the M4. Oh, missed opportunity by Badonka, but Brace will lock it down. With 20 seconds, the bomb now down towards Sandwich as well. It's looking like a very unlikely situation that Airborne lose this one. Badonka's going to do his best effort, and the 4 CTs are all caught sleeping for a moment, but they do peek together and lock it down eventually to take them to a 4th. As Airborne are starting strong here on their CT side. Oh, look at that. Gun just being dropped across there. Nice little transfer.
Oh.
Did you know that Western Union also are very flexible with their sending and receiving options?
There you go. It's good to know.
Good to know. Just in case, you ever need to drop some weapons for your friend.
Different kinds of weapons.
Yep. Get a load of these guns. Hey! Glad we weren't on camera for that one. Well, faster approach from Paradox, who happily just completely encapsulate mid-control. Even though they just are on the Glocky boys at Eagle under P250. Sweet at close range, just trying to win the engagement. JD finds the wallbang. And Paradox slowly but surely dropping like flies here. Herbs in the corner, can't get anything done. Badonka falls to Brace as well. And it's a battle of the bees all over the field. But there it is. 5 on the board now for Airborne. Making light work of Paradox now.
Yep.
Looking like they're trying to find a bit of revenge.
Maybe a reverse sweep on the cards, Mac. What do you think of that?
Ooh. Wouldn't mind it. Wouldn't have expected it. Yet here we are.
Sometimes has the problem with picking into the middle of the map pool. You don't give yourself that freebie. Sometimes, you pick Mirage a million times, and your opponent just has a good game on it, and you lose. And that's your map pick in the bin.
Not a good place to be, no. Well, faster approach towards the B site now, Swede. Not going to be spotted initially, but Inno picks up the scraps on the entry. Clearing out the corner, JD. Want as much time as possible to Molly as well, denying that bomb plant. PZ walks out for free, re-peek straight into his crosshair, but Eccles somehow finds the head and dropping to his death there, Luke. Just finds the bad timing.
This would be a big time for Herbs to come up clutch. He's been a little bit more quiet in that first map than he was in the first split. Double market setup here for Airborne. Smoothcream's just spotting in case anybody pushes in towards the market door there, which is exactly what Herbs is doing. Has been spotted. He's just going to walk straight back out. He's got a Molotov he's picked up. There you go. Brace walks back around. Picks him up fairly easily. That's going to be the round for Airborne. They do have a good economy behind them. Strong amount of money. Paradox can buy up again here as they have got pretty good loss bonus. But instead they're just going to half buy it. Try to get enough money for the full utility in the AWPs in the next round.
Good decision, I'd say. Top mid smoke and window. No. Short, it seems. So Paradox again looking for this mid control, but just 2 men investing their time in that direction. Now it is going to be Paradox with a power player to a main. The full split comes through. Straight up con they go. The Donker on short just can't win the engagement. Awkward situation. Close range with the CZ. Unable to get any work done as Luke will find himself the M4. And now there's an opportunity. Another found as Lukey as well. Trying to get in the mix here. 2 for him and a big approach. But the nade goes a little bit too deep to have full amount of impact. But there is the man advantage. However, 2 of these Ts are 1 bullet away from the grave. So Herbs is just slowly contacting. Gets the timing. And it's all up to JD to get all the work done. He lurks his way through the smoke. Finds 1 for free. Can't deny the cross as Herbs tries to hold the line. But the bomb is going to be planted for him. He may just have to play clutch. And that molly could finish him if he doesn't fall back as well. So JD playing this one very intelligently looking to try to isolate the fight, just waiting to spot the head from default, knows that Lukey has to be in this position. Goes up top, and that was a smart maneuver, but unfortunately for him, Lukey's feeling it right now. Hits the flick, and he picks up 3 there in the 8th round. There it is, Paradox. They found a second.
It's a big individual play. Airborne still has a bit of money to fall back on, so they still will buy up into this one. It's going to give Paradox a second. And should they come away with this one, they could get a 3rd and a 4th on the board. Airborne's still not got too much loss bonus built up just yet. Nice little one-way thrown out there. Might give Brace some freebies.
Whoa. Doesn't spot it initially, but gets the full lineup and, you know, will fall for free. Airborne in the driver's seat again, but Luke has managed to find JD. Looked like there was an attempt at the short boost, but doesn't quite work out.
Herb's on the lurk over here towards the B side of the map. Will be jump spotted. Oh, I don't think we did spot him at all there.
But that's a whole lot of info. He's heard the jump up onto the balcony.
There's the flash. Surely this is the flash from Brace. He's got it ready.
Just a matter of time. When does he send it? They're waiting for some info, waiting for a key. But Herbs, does he know that he's on the balcony? He's still looking over towards Van. Is this even going to happen?
Well, PZ's in a safe position over here towards A. Surely he sends it now.
There it is. Beautiful
Freebie.
timing, beautiful pick. But with that,
PZ's
that's
fallen
the
off.
key for Paradox to make their way out on A, and that's exactly what we're going to see. PZ gets on the line, denies the bomb plant for a moment. The molly starting to spread, but the nade could be good. No, too short. This molly comes out. That's going to deny the plant at default, but forces PZ's line to be crossed. And there it is, another Paradox. They've dropped the ball again. It looked good for a moment, but they just barely couldn't get those rotations to come through. And Airborne put a 7th up on the board.
It's a good round for them. Very clean. Paradox can buy up again. Is going to go down to a Mac 10 now. Double smokes into mid again as window as well as top mid. 3rd one being thrown onto top con very quickly as looks like Paradox heading for a very quick mid to A split. Can't believe Badonka's winning that aim duel with a Mac 10.
Sometimes the least known weapons manage to get the work done. Spray control. It's quite easy at some points, but it's more the bullet spread you have to worry about. However, still the 4v4. As Airborne are posturing for the retake now. 3 from CT, 1 from Con. They do have a full set of util on JD to try to get back in, but they're going to go for the boost instead. It's an awkward situation.
It's a good post plant though, especially with Inno over towards jungle side. Now Luke's going to go for a flank over towards middle.
Oh, and that's the beautiful eyes of Herbs putting in the groundwork. Now they don't have to worry about Con knowing that all the CTs are making their way in from the spawn area there at Ticket. You know, able to hold the cross, but it's just too little too late. And Lukey's just waiting for them to push over, wants to get that knife kill. It's not going to happen. As Paradox, they've secured themselves a 3rd. And it looks like they're starting to find a bit of momentum, find their feet a bit. Not too late for it.
2 guns saved over from Airborne will allow them to go for a buy here if they want though. Already doing well on the CT side here. Like to see them head into double digits. It looks like Paradox have just had a bit of a slow start, but we saw a lot of that from them in split 1. They're able to come back from deficits. Sometimes they will front run as well.
Much slower approach from Airborne at least here.
Yeah. Same for Paradox, they're just running that mid control, which they do pretty well.
Well, Inno has a line, but that vent remains unbroken, so The only place he can really go for now is up short unless he uses patience to try and deny rotations. But I dare say that PZ is not going to make his way back through. They've given up full control of jungle there.
Badonka tried to pick out ramp there and kill Smooth Cream towards CT, but didn't get him. They're well aware there's someone towards A side, and they know how much mid control that Paradox do have. Clock really ticking down now. Looks like they're going to head back towards B with Lukey going to try and backstab through Con or try to get a pick towards A to draw the rotation. Sweet's got the molly here. Got a CZ.
He's going to stay on the short side.
JD's got another molly as well.
I'm in on that nade. Everything going wrong for Paradox. They've left this one way too late, and they're going to disregard Swede's position as well. Trust makes his way up short, but I dare say Swede is going to be the crux of the round. 2 for him, almost the 3rd. But now there remains some time to plant. The bomb's gone down, however, and it's off to Lukey in the 1v4, but the troops have started to rotate in, and it looks like Paradox are going to have to take this one on the chin. Whoa, missed opportunity. That one should have connected. Awkward situation. As Airborne, they found another.
Weird money situation for Paradox now. Time out from Airborne. Interesting. Double ult now for those lads. Surely you throw the second ult to Smooth Cream.
Well, they were before. Maybe Swede has a spawn. Where is he?
He's the B apps player. That's probably why.
3. Oh, yeah, he doesn't have a spawn, but...
I think he's probably just the B apps player.
Yeah, probably just wants to use it over towards B there. Try to get a nice line. How have you found the ledge at the balcony over on B has affected the game? It's just the jump peeking that seems to be affected. And even still, everyone just goes to the right side now.
Yeah, I think that it makes the B lurk on the T side if someone's really good at it pretty annoying.
Yeah. Speaking of lurking, I thought Luke rather, might have made his way out for free. But he did get spotted on the jump peak, and now this will trigger some rotation. Still 2 towards mid, however, so JD needs to make his way through, but Brace holds very strong indeed. Closes the distance, but silently, JD, the reaction shot. You love to see it.
Called him out. He said he didn't play that good last game. Now he's flexing on you, Mac.
I love being proven wrong. I love it. Well, they know that Smooth Cream is going to be waiting over towards default now. Lukey on just 22 HP. He's in a very ambitious position. Brace will win the timing game. Zerbs tries to pre-fire it, and there it is. The bomb goes down. That is going to be the round again as Badonka tries to make his way through Palace. We'll see how the timing goes. Goes very wide. Cops a bink onto Smooth Crim, but he will fall before the final blow is hit. And there it is. 9 on the board for Airborne. I thought Paradox might have been able to get back into the half. And if they do have any chance, it has to start now. Because, look, 5 might be enough, but Paradox, we haven't seen the strongest of defenses from them on the CT side so far today. Obviously, it is a different map, but be it as it may, they're looking much stronger on the T side. And speaking of...
Palace explode.
Big push coming out straight through Pal already. There's a whole lot of util for the CTs to use to at least stop the bomb from going down, but it's going to be PZ using brute force instead. Smooth Crim, he's here to fight. Little gap on the edge of the smoke. Just holds the spray, waiting for the second man to come and trade, but it never comes through. It's Lukey playing at long range to find the only one. But what a dominant hold there on A. Airborne off to the double digits, off to the races, as they're trying to close this one out now.
Complete turnaround from Nuke. Maybe that's something Airborne will have to think about a bit more. Because obviously they've tried to go wide on the map pool, and it hasn't worked because clearly they weren't as good at Nuke as maybe they wanted to be by going for that kind of a pick. But it's pretty clear that they're quite good on Mirage. I'd imagine that they're going to be pretty decent on Inferno as well.
Especially if they all start to hit their shots as well. If anything, it looks like Paradox have hit the brakes a little bit. Maybe spent all the petrol in their tank very early.
To To be fair, I think Nuke was pretty much a two-man show from them for the most part.
Yeah.
So now that neither Badonka or Luke are really showing up too much to this game, they're not doing a whole lot. Herbs, though, starting to turn things around. He hasn't got the bomb, though, which is the problem.
No, it's over at mid. Airborne completely aware that they have that objective control. And with that, they are just going to try to keep all eyes on all the exits from that B site. Looks like it will be braced to take contact, so maybe a footstep was heard? No. psg's attention was drawn for a moment. Oh, there it is.
Saw his
The info.
noggin.
Tight line held, Brace just not feeling himself at the moment. Happy to buy the time and draw out the attention. That molly will force Herbs into this position, but he throws a molly straight back as Brace comes back through, hits the headshot eventually there with the M4A4, and that is 11 on the board for Airborne with an economy which will allow Paradox to buy. So there's a chance for it to be an 11-4 half, 11-4 situation heading into the second. But Airborne are looking happy as Larry and confident as him as well.
Oh, some would say they're taking off. They've already taken off. They're flying. Airborne. Like that, man.
What am I taking?
I don't know.
You whispered.
It's fair.
Couldn't hear it. I needed more ASMR, Pilly.
Is that better?
A little bit closer.
It's like the... Have you seen the video of that dude who just shoves the whole mic in his mouth?
No, have you?
No, I have. Live action.
Ah, okay. Well, second half about to start now. After this round.
What do you reckon? Can you give me a noise that summarizes JD using the org in this half?
Give you a what?
A noise that represents JD's use of the org in this half.
Pew, 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 pew. And bang bang. There it is. The bang bang short on hold on short rather. As he's going to disregard a third late man to come through. That's going to be Lukey to open up the round, and it's back to the 3v3 we go. As Airborne seemingly have lost the B site, but it's PZ, the last line of defense. We'll see if he can hold his line. Ooh, big shot on the leg. Not enough to close it. Luke as well on the repeat catches him with the timing.
Screen's jumped up from window. Wasn't ready for the off angle, but does adjust in time. Herbs has been boosted on the site.
Good flash. But Brace, he has the timing, he has the positioning. Now they need to find Herbs. He's going to be hiding up on Ninja, completely disregarded. I'm going to be surprised if they check this at all. He's just going to play the timing game. Oh, he's not going to be checked here at all because the bomb's planted for short. But, oh, can he hit the spam? Tries to get the lineup, finds one. Thinks he's killed the diffuser, but it's going to be Brace sticking it. And there it is, 12-3.
Very
awkward.
nice.
That was a very awkward situation, and I understand why he stopped spraying.
All
Already
right.
killed the diffuser.
Let's see Paradox do one of their comebacks. Seen it before, saw it a lot in split one.
Yep. From 12-3. That's what they did on Inferno, right?
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
They did 12-3, they did 11-4, they did a whole bunch of them.
The comeback specialist. That's not what you want to be known as, by the way. You want to be an early closer. A strong finisher.
It's not really what AUCS is known for.
You don't want to be the comeback kids.
No.
But seemingly, that seems to be where they're heading with their reputation.
Yep. It's true.
The boys that love a bit of OT. Billy doesn't want to respond to it.
They do. It's true.
I've had my little tantrum about it, okay? I've moved on. I'm accepting that it's part of the game.
The thing is that you got robbed the most, though, because Chinese CS is literally meant to be stomps, in my experience.
Yeah.
It's just 16-3, and then the other team picks their map, and they 16-3. And then, you know, it's not usually close. Even the top teams will just bang each other out of the server most of the time.
Maybe they're all just growing up, you know? It is the 20s now.
20s.
The 20s, not the 2010s. the 2020s.
I mean, some of these CS players aren't in their 20s.
No, they're not. Oh, they're millennials.
Gross. You hate to see it.
You hate to see
They
it.
should have just cut it off. 99,
Cut it off.
no more.
No more
That's it.
humans.
We're done.
Well, faster approach from Airborne. Beating those flashes out. JD wants to close the distance early. It's going to be the right side smokes. We'll let the bomb to go down. Get the planted for CT. And with the flash, they'll take full control as well. Paradox, no one falling, so they are going to be able to posture for the retake.
It's a hard retake. Here it comes.
Flashing to try to retake CT, but it looks like it's going to be the Glocks to reign victorious for the moment. Bullets falling out of the clip, but it is going to be Swede to maintain control as Luke now going to be last alive in the 1v3. Has to try to isolate the fight, so Swede swings through. He will actually find another with the USB headshot. So 3 for him and 2 for Smooth Crim. Gets that one locked down for Airborne, and they have now found a 13th round. That's a 10-round lead, and potential for it to be done in 19 rounds.
This is a shocker.
Woo.
Shocker from Paradox. Are they just going to save? Usually they force here. They forced in a lot of these. They're just hard saving. I don't mind it on Mirage, to be honest.
I think it's so they can maybe cause an upset, as well as know that they can play for the retake, the comeback rather.
We got there.
3rd time's the charm.
Yep. My brain's a bit like that as well today. Not just today, just in general.
It looks pretty normal.
Okay.
Got a haircut, mate.
Oh, yeah. Fair. Just got that today. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Appreciate it.
Looking smooth. It's like a good dare-asked coffee. Well,
Just like it getting double dinked if you're Smooth Crim.
yep. Straight through con net. Oh, and that's an awkward time for a reload, Geordie. There's the drop. Upset potential high, and Paradox, the save is looking awkward.
It's not over. Swede's alive.
Bomb
Not count him
planted
out.
Default, though.
It's a retake from ramp and double CT. There's no kit. But like you said, exactly, default plant.
Cops the bing. Everything's starting to go wrong. Eventually, no, he misses those shots, and Swede now on just 2 HP. It's going to be Inno with the stick, but there's no kit from him. Bedonka holds the cross. What a round from Paradox, just working the perfect times over and over. A little bit of luck, a little bit of praying to Gaben going through from them. And they're back in the game. We try to wrap up a map knowing that it's about to end, and then something like that just, boom, bang, table slapper happens. You'd have no idea what's coming.
Well, you were saying, like, well, they've just full saved for the upset potential, and I was thinking, like, what is that even, what are you trying to say exactly?
What are you trying to say? You reckon they're going to win on pistols? Mac, that's dumb.
That's
and,
stupid.
It's stupid. Maybe I've just got a big brain, you know, sometimes. Comes through.
Big and wrinkly.
New age insults. Having a smooth brain. You want to be wrinkly in this scenario. Not in many other scenarios, but... Ooh. Sharpie herbs. Repositions his crosshair perfectly to find the headshot. That
5
line gets
alive.
held as well.
They have a ton of money now, Mac.
This is
They've
how
got a lot of-
comebacks happen.
Airborne doesn't have a ton of money. Like, they have enough for AKs and armor, or like Galils and utility, or to save with pistols and armor.
Yep.
They have a lot of rounds to play with, though. It's Mirage. Like, if there was ever a map that you can just push yourself across the line with quick, you know, good timing, it's Mirage.
Well, we'll see if the quick good timing comes out this round. Looks like Luke is only good for the single. Luke straight back in CT, looking to keep the distance now. The cover is there, so we're back to the 3v3, and an AUG now retrievable because none of these CTs have decided to come and retake from the CT area.
Smooth Crim's got a molly as well.
If Paradox leave this too little too late, it could be all over Red Rover. They've still got full utility. Like, complete full utility.
That makes it easier.
And they don't even have to use it. A couple of flashes. Smooth Crim now. It's a good bit of damage onto Bedonka, but it is going to be the AWP posted on the line. And Paradox make the successful retake happen. And they've still got 3 smokes, 2 mollies, and 4 flashes to carry over into the next. So barely even using that utility for the retake, just backing up their aim.
How much does all that cost?
What was it? 3 smokes, 2 mollies, and 4 flashes. It's 800. It's 600. No, 900. 800, 900. That's 1,700. And another 12. No, 1,800. 1,200. 1,200. $3,000! There's $3,000 worth of utility. There we go. Sorry. I was trying to commentate my brain
Faster math.
in work.
Keck W.
Look, I don't like being put on the spot, okay? It's literally my job, but not with maths.
Well, flash into A ramp in the mid round. Paradox get a little info over there. Seen Lukey kill a lot of people by using that smoke fade to his advantage in that spot.
I have a request for you, Pilly.
Oh, yeah.
I know that this game's on.
No.
and
Go.
it's there.
Quick.
So, okay.
Too late.
Too late. There's a bit of action. Oh, no, we're good now.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
so next time you cast him with Jordan,
Yep.
when he says something dumb, can you go, you got a real smooth brain, but say it as like the biggest compliment and see how he reacts.
I think he knows. What a flash, though, from Herbs.
Ooh.
Nice little underarm. Cheeky one.
Well, back to the 3v3. Nice little line up, and Paradox, they're getting it done again. Not really postured for the retake just yet, so the bomb should go down. I dare say Eno won't go out solo. But there's going to be the 2-man setup coming in through short. Eno just makes sure no one makes their way across towards short to catch the CTs off guard. But Airborne happy to hold from their positions here at default and Van Pillar.
It's a boost on the site. We'd love to see it. Oh,
Ooh, Eno, sharp reaction. It's all up smooth cream. He goes a little bit too wide. Luke posted at the ready. And plenty of time for the defuse there on the retake. Paradox continue to make the comeback happen again. If they make it to the finals, can we get a cutout of a crown and then just give it to them and say, here is to the comeback kings?
let's put it on Luke's head.
And then just write come and on the back of it so you can put it on their head. So it's like comeback kings.
I don't know if he'd appreciate that, but
C-O-M-E. That's all right.
thank you for clarifying.
Look, I knew where your mind was. It wasn't okay.
No, my mind's really okay.
Smooth brain.
Well, there's a lamp flash, probably followed up by a palace flash. Lukey's on top of the balcony, though. Is PZ up there? Hasn't been flashed at all. Easiest frag of his life.
He is just a master of the big green stick today. Lukey in an odd position up on the ladder, but still under the balcony. And Brace is going to deal with him eventually, but that's a whole lot of damage taken by the T's. Tries to finish it anyway. It's back to the 3v3 we go as Badonka's gone down to 5.
What do we got here on the T's? We've got some flashbangs. They could be used well to win this retake, but some decent utility here for Paradox. Smoking towards the Palace.
Easy has been found, and now it's up to Brace to try and take contact. Smooth Crim wanting to swing as soon as he can, but Paradox, they're leaving this late. Still a couple of flashes to get on the lines. There it is, Brace finds one, Smooth Crim the double. And a beautiful situation, 1 in the 2v3.
Still enough money to buy for Paradox, though. But there's just so many rounds for Airborne. Like, all it takes is one of those rounds, like we just had, to just get those entries in towards the A site. They got so many opportunities to build up that loss bonus and continue to buy. Like, other maps, it's a little harder, But Mirage, I feel like it's got so many options for the T side to just get across for those 1 or 2 rounds they need.
We'll see if they can choose the right options this time.
Is it like a multiple choice? They just pick A, B, C, D?
Well, it kind of is, right? If the CTs have a certain setup at a certain time and you've chosen the right route to go, then, that's just literally the definition of timing in this game. Strat calling.
Forgot about the secret 5th option, the E, which is, it stands for Echo. vehicle kills your whole team.
That is not a reliable option, although it starts to look very reliable as the days go on.
Depends how he's feeling it. Okay, that's probably not ideal.
Ooh.
Untradeable.
Ooh. And JD already on that line. Flash as well. Aids him slightly. Swede just lurks his way through, but there's a bit of 4x3 gameplay for you. But Donka forgets about Con, and now it's the 2v4 situation. Swede will throw his life away, not expecting Lukey there at CT.
Oh, that might come back to bite them. It's a bit unnecessary. Still a bit of util here. Smooth Crim and JD, though, I would imagine, especially in these positions, should have a decent shot. Lukey's come back around through short this time, though.
Oh, and Smooth Crim still reacts just in the nick of time, and it's all up to Herbs to try to crack this crossfire, but it's so hard. Smooth Crim down to 40, thought there might have been an opportunity, trying to close the distance. He will not fall just yet, and Smooth Crim, oh, here's a Guardian Angel watching over from somewhere because the man should not be alive after that many engagements. Oh my. Couple of whiffed bullets. Let him
And
survive.
that's Paradox's money reset.
And 15 on the board for Airborne.
Match point with not a good buy.
Map point. Because they didn't. This could have been a 2-0. You could look at this right now. Could have been a 2-0.
Could have.
But Airborne just missing their opportunity over on Nuke.
Yeah. Unfortunate. It happens.
Oh well. We like Inferno anyway, don't we?
Yep. I don't feel like Paradox is really woken up yet.
Well, certainly waking up Swede there.
Bit of a sleepy boy.
It's a whole lot of control and a whole lot of information for Paradox, though, with that push through unders. Lukey has the AK to play with now as well. As Airborne are going to group up over towards A main, but as you can see, Luke has made his way into A main as well, but he's spotted. JD traded out. If this continues, Paradox do have the man advantage, but Brace has somehow lurked in through window, straight back through CT. That's a whole lot of control for Airborne.
All the CTs are ages away, man. Smoke on top con. They can put the bomb down. PC's got an AWP. You know what I'm getting out here, Mac. You know what you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I love picking up what you put down, especially those jelly beans. Well, glorious bits of information sometimes, but Paradox have at least hit their shots, so it's still on the cards that they do survive here. Lukey, will he check tech? So the flash comes through, but Brace holds strong as Smooth Crim falls. They know exactly where Brace is as well in the 2v1. The cover is there, and Paradox live to fight another day.
PZ just went down too early there. The man was the big power player with the AWP.
Tried to get it done, but just could not get it over the line. So Airborne could have closed it out there and then, but now their economy is good enough to go for a force buy. Utility may take a hit. But do they want to close it out now? No. The half investment is the call. With some good util. See if they can cause the upset up against Paradox on their full buy.
What are they going to do, Mac? What are they doing with these? Looks like it's the Arch Smokes. One from way back. They're sending Swede in. He's gunning it. Look at him go. Race car. Zoom, zoom. Okay.
Well, that one's been shut down, but it has drawn some rotations, and the bomb now spotted. The Smooth Crim makes his way up, but there's no cover here, and he's going to go down for free. No bomb plant either. An awkward situation, but Luke can't hit it on the second attempt. There's an AK in play as well. Brace gets his hands on the primary weapon. Oh, nice little shot onto Inno.
They can slow this down.
Oh, how's that flash not blinded him? Look where it's landed. CSGO, hell of a game.
Hell of a drug. It's addictive. Hide your kids.
Hide your wife.
Well, PZ's made his way into jungle. He's going to pick up a M4.
I like this setup. They have eyes on the bomb. You got Badonka just waiting, playing anti-flash, waiting for a swing to come through and getting ready to trade if Luke goes down.
I want to see them run boost. Do some sick run boost with the flash.
But it's just the flash. Luke connects anyway as Brace tries his little heart out to get the round to go down. But it is going to be Airborne going down instead. Paradox, 9 on the board now. On the brink of double digits. Once they get to 12, I'll believe. But for right now, I still am just waiting for Airborne to close it.
They're going to take a tactical at a good time, Mac. They've got a good buy.
Have a little bit of a thinky think.
The ball's right next to the net. All they got to do is just little boop, little boop,
Little boop.
Yep.
Yep. Tap her in. Tap her in. Pilly,
Yes,
could this be the last round?
in theory.
Every round could be the last round.
Yes.
It's a matter of when it comes.
It is.
Will you be ready?
Can you hold your mic right where it is and then just move your head slowly from side to side? No. Like hold the mic. Yeah.
I don't know. Can
It's
you
not
hear
really
that?
coming through. No.
No, you could see it though. I think my microphone, my moustache microphone is all cooked now, but that's okay.
We don't even need a muffler on your mic. You can just use your mustache.
Oh, well, Luke is here and fighting 2 for 1. And that'll put Paradox in the driver's seat here. 25th round, but Smooth Crim, Sharpie. Clear in the close angles, Inno goes down, and it's back to the 3v3 we go. Brace as well, denies the exit out of shop, and it's all up to Lukey and Badonka to try to clutch this one, but they are going to go different directions. With Airborne having the man advantage on the post plant, it is looking very rough for Paradox. This could be it.
Yeah, I'd say this is going to be it. PZ on the off angle. Cleans that one up.
Connects. Not going to miss the sitters, and it's all up to Lukey. He's had a decent game so far, but it's all over. Red over for him here as we are going to Inferno, Pilly.
3-mapper. I am surprised with how well, Airborne came swinging out of the gates in that map. But I have to say as well, what the hell happened to Paradox? Because they did not show up to that map at all.
Well, that was their map pick too, so you expected it. Maybe they thought it was going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy, but it wasn't.
No.
There was nothing. Maybe they just need to, have a dare fix.
Yep.
Which will fix it, maybe.
Yep. I think they definitely do.
What do you think that they've got to do?
I think that they have to, play their regular game like we saw in the last split. Have a little drink of dare like Mac. How you feel now? You feel better? That's exactly
But I'm doing
what you
this
want
wrong.
to see.
If I'm going to shill,
That's lovely, Mac.
beautiful. Thank
So
you. Thank
that
you.
was great form, which is not what Paradox brought into this game. So we're going to need to see some great form like Mac has showcased there with the dare from Paradox into Inferno, which is a map they should be pretty comfortable on.
Yeah. Inferno, look, we saw them beat Order on it, so they certainly have it up their sleeve to be able to get it done. However, I'm not too sure about Airborne. They're looking really good right now. And, Inferno, one of those similar maps to Mirage around the middle of the map pool, and if they keep doing what they're doing, rotating like they're rotating, and playing together, then they could cause the upset here. They could be coming in at the lowest seed and still make it to upper bracket round 2.
I rate that. I think they definitely could do that.
Yep.
That's all I have.
That's all you got.
That's all I got.
A little bit of spicy Inferno action. You don't think we're going to see anything crazy like in that deeper analysis we saw earlier?
No.
No?
No, I think, Paradox should probably bring their game. And, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, hopefully that one will happen eventually. But Inferno, obviously going to be the playing field that comes up shortly. For now, Mirage, it was pretty decent. I don't know. What do you think about that one? Like, other than the upset?
I don't know. I think Airborne just really, showed up pretty well. And you also had some pretty poor form from Paradox. So hopefully they can pick it up in the next one.
Yeah, well, bit of shaky form from Paradox. Can they close it out as the leaders in to split 2, or will they go down to the lower bracket to try to make the lower bracket run again? Find out shortly as we head over to Inferno. Hey, and that's exactly what we're going to see. PZ, I dare say Swede, is going to be the crux of the round. 2 for him, almost the third. That's an awkward time for a reload, Geordie. There's the drop. Upset potential high. The other scenarios, but... Ooh. Sharpie, Herb, utility. Like, complete full utility. He reacts.
I think he knows. What a flash, though, from Herbs.
Deal with him eventually, but that's a whole lot of damage taken by the T's. Tries to finish it. JD.
Out through short this time, though.
Oh, and Smooth Crimps made his way into a main as well, but he's spotted. JD traded. Flash comes through, but Brace holds strong as Smooth Crimp falls. They know exactly where Brace is as well in the 2v1. The cover is there and spotted. The Smooth Crimp makes his way out, but there's no cover here, and he's going to go down for free. No bomb plant.
Use your mustache.
Oh, well, Luke is here and fighting 2 for 1. But it's all over. Red over for him here as we are going to Inferno Pillar.
Mr. Murray, have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
Callum Murray.
Callum Murray.
Calamari.
The series decider is upon us again, and it will be Inferno. What a way to end it. Look, I'm excited to see who takes this one because it could either be, you know, a very closely contested battle, which is what we were talking about going into this split, or we could see a massive upset as well. You know, if Airborne go through from the lowest seed in the bracket, that is certainly a message sent.
It is, but I think if you look at the lineups on paper, you know, there's a fair amount of talent on this Airborne roster. It's not a surprise that they're able to punch up to this level and, you know, bring a good game against Paradox. I think what we saw in Mirage, though, was a pretty big underperformance from Paradox, and it's definitely not the level that we saw in Split 1. It's definitely not the, you know, level of individual performance that some of those players brought on Nuke to be able to complete that, you know, map upset. So now that they're down 1-1, now that Paradox has sort of had a map where they looked pretty limp, they didn't really look like they were in it at all.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're able to bring back the level of form that we've seen for them in recent times on Inferno, and they won't be sent through to that lower bracket to have to grind things out, because the way that Paradox is looking, and the way that Paradox looked in that first split, they shouldn't be losing here. They should be contesting for that land spot, for that spot just below Chiefs. If not, you know, they beat Chiefs last split. So this is definitely not peak performance. This is not even, you know, 50% from Paradox. They need to really pick it up in this next map.
Maybe they just used it all in the first map, though, you know. Pretty sure, you know, he has just woken up, you know. Obviously, the other day, he came from the night shift straight in, didn't do any warm-up, and looked like he was on fire. Maybe he just needs to forget that he's done anything today.
Maybe.
Just come in, feeling fresh, and frag up a storm on Inferno. You know, he did get an ace the other day on Order of all people. Surely he can do it here again on Airborne.
With a Galil as well.
The Galil.
Yeah.
So, still a decent weapon. You know, I'm a big fan of the Galil personally. The spray pattern is a little bit particular.
It goes, I'm pretty sure it goes like 1 to 5 straight down and then question mark. Like, what happens?
It goes like that and then a bit like that.
Yeah.
But then after that, sort of, I try not to spray for that long with a Galil.
I try not to just buy the weapon. Just.
But it's so cheap, you know?
True.
It's so cheap.
Yeah.
It's so good. Lets you get all that extra util.
You look at the price and you're like, oh, I shouldn't, but it's just such good value.
You get Galil, smoke, double flash for the same price as an AK.
True.
Get your armor there as well.
Yep.
Big, you know, 3,700.
Big if
pretty
true.
good. That's a pretty big buy.
That's it.
Pretty decent buy.
Yep.
Yeah, depending on the map you're going into,
Can't
those
argue with
flashes
that.
can be pretty damn good to have.
Oh, flashbangs are great.
Yep. Especially
In any
on
map.
Inferno. Inferno's a big map though.
Yep.
You know, you got to have them to go for that retake at Banana, which is where we're going to see a lot of control, a lot of prioritization put on by Paradox. Is what we saw the other day. They go very quick right up there.
They do. They like to fight for Banana. I think a lot of the times they'll win a lot of those Banana fights, and often with Paradox, the times when they really run into some struggles is when they either don't win that early fight over Banana, or they don't have that early fight over Banana, and then sometimes, you know, if it boils down into the late round, they can have some struggles there. I guess we'll see what we see from them in terms of how does Airborne approach Banana and the overall early to mid round, because that's where Paradox, I feel like they have the strongest stranglehold on Inferno once you start to head into the late round, or if you have some clever play from the CTs, like we saw a little bit of Order on their CT side. You know, they were like mollying the top. They were heavily investing in utility to shut down Banana early on, and really punishing Paradox for trying to force that Banana control. So I'd be keen to see something like that out of Airborne if they're capable of doing so.
I feel like they should be pretty capable. And also I did get word that it is Paradox that has won the knife round, so they will be starting on the CT side. That's what they've chosen. And I dare say that they're going to be able to control the tempo. They had the massive CT side over against Order earlier in the week, or earlier in the week, start of the weekend, whatever you want to really call it. It was Saturday, a couple of days ago. Let's go with that one. So they have had a little bit of a break and not looking as good as what we saw them play against Order earlier, but we'll see if they can pick up the scraps here and do it on Inferno.
Alrighty. Well, Airborne looking like they're just going to hide in towards Olaf and over towards Banana now, starting to move their way up with the 2 sets of utility. Anti-flash from Luke behind the sandbag.
Big hold. Luke trying to get anything done on those blind Ts, and all 5 of them were actually flashed as well. You can see there on the UI, and it's all up to Inno to try to buy some time, but he really needs to find these heads, and none are going to be found. Paradox now, it's a 2v5 on the retake. It is looking highly unlikely that they will get this round on the board. Airborne looking strong.
They're looking pretty flat again. at least in the pistol, and that's exactly not what you want to be seeing from Paradox.
Herb's in a good position. Finds a head onto JD, but a big trade with the swing from Sweet. It's all up to Lukey. They're going to hear that bullet connect as well.
Oh.
And, head found, but the round certainly going to be favouring Airborne there.
Just wants to hold on to that Kevlar. Let's put an extra 300 in the bank account. There's a 600.
That's all right.
That's good. Buy a scout for Luke. Get him to give you a pistol.
Yep. We've seen Luke do some crazy things with that scout before as well.
Don't buy FAMAS. Whatever you do, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself.
No FAMAS?
You're better than that.
No FAMAS? Are you a FAMAS or a FAMAS guy?
I'm an MP9 guy. 'Cause it's just a better weapon. We don't buy the FAMAS here. We definitely don't do that, Lukey, do we? Nope.
He's heard you. He's watching the stream. He's doing this just to antagonize you.
Yeah, well, watch what happens when a T peeks him and he only does 60 damage and dies. Then he'll be laughing.
Pilly, hard triggered.
Yeah, look at the MP9. Look how good that weapon is. Look at the
Great fire
FAMAS
rate.
run away.
Massive fire rate.
That's it.
Heaps of BPS.
Heaps of kill reward.
Bullets per second.
RPZ. What's that stand for? Ribosomes. There you go.
Ribosomes?
Ribosomes. You heard of that word? I'm expanding your vocabulary here, Mac.
What is it?
I can't remember what it even means, to
Oh.
be fair. But it is a word.
Okay. So is Zoinkid.
Well, he hasn't been doing very much zoinking since Nuke, or doinking. Doinking or zoinking.
The doinking has slowed down.
like a market analyst, the doinking has definitely slowed down this quarter.
Well, no doinking going on at Archers now. Just going to be a bit of wrapping over towards the A side, it seems. Lukey, he's solo towards B, but 28 seconds on the clock. It's going to be a little bit awkward now, but Donka gets the doinking going. He's got full control of the bomb as well, which needs to be retaken. Badonka on the line is trying to get it done with Galil, loses his head. And that's going to be the 2v1 now as Lukey tries to make his way in, and here's that FAMAS.
The
Can it
FAMAS.
have some impact?
Look at that.
Oh.
It's a struggle. Takes up to 10 bullets to do anything. And he goes down.
Oh, no surprises from Pilly there. As Airborne start this map strong as well. 2-0. And Paradox, obviously, they went for that force buy, so now they will be saving yet another one. And Airborne, they are fully aware of this, so they're going to go for the triple MAC-10 setup. You love to see it. Full utility.
Money incoming.
Where's that money coming from?
Where's it? I don't know. Where does the extra loss bonus come from? Is it like an endorsement from the MAC-10 company for using their gun?
That's a good question.
Do you reckon Airborne's logo would tickle your toes well, Mac?
Looks like a cyclone, so maybe.
A cyclone is like a wing or a feather.
No, it is a wing. I was just pulling
I
your
was just
toe.
testing you.
I was just trying to get you with that one. That's Lukey's laugh as he pushes into second mid and takes a free kill onto Sweet.
Definitely is. Undoubtedly.
Could you imagine if that was on the soundboard in game? Every time you get a kill, you just hear JD and Brace just going in, laughing their way to victory. But it is going to be the inaccuracy of the USP coming through for Lukey and Badonka to try to get anything done here. There is still an opportunity because JD's down on 9 HP. Reboost comes through, but they know where the final man is now. But Donka, he's going to be taking a bit of damage as well. Flash comes through for the T's to get aggressive, and it is going to be the MAC-10 to close it out.
I mean, they were soundboarding Jordan the other week, going, ooh, and like all the reaction sounds, so they can definitely soundboard your laugh.
Oh, there you go. Let's see if we can get it done.
I rate that.
I don't know if I want to hear that in my own ears, though. I feel sorry for you and everyone out there that's watching this.
Are you aware of what you sound like, Mac?
No.
Might be for the best.
Probably is.
Here's the Nana control from Paradox. Look at him. Straight down into it. Meanwhile, Airborne straight into A.
That's some early smokes
Oh.
coming through, but before they bloom, they come around the corner, and it is going to be Swede default. Casualties ensuing, but JD wants to try to make his way through the smoke, gets on the line behind the tree, and slots it straight through the branches, but it's going to be Luke as well, finding some more through the smoke of his own. And that's going to be the man advantage maybe for the retake, but the site has now been collapsed on by Airborne, so at least they can get into some post plants, but the bomb's at the back of site. In a rough position to hold.
Jungle back in control of Paradox, and now they're going to line up some retaking utilities. There you go, Herbs. You get
Eventually.
which one is
Which
it?
side of the door is it, boys?
Lukey, which one?
I can't find the doorbell.
What do I name it? Here, here, here. Yeah, there you go.
Gets it eventually.
Gorgeous.
Good utility usage, but PZ still going to be able to play close on site. Not going to be spotted by the
Oh.
dig wrap coming in. And he's going to get the drive-by. And it's all up to Smooth Grim to try to clutch it out. Can't quite win all the fights there. And they will get onto the bomb just in time. It is going to be Luke. He has that kit, fortunately, for Paradox, and that's their first round found.
There are only 2 players surviving, though, for Paradox, and with Airborne's amount of money, they could potentially reinvest in here and reset that money onto Paradox. So they do only have the 2,400 loss bonus, Mac. There you go, Lukey. He's heard the gospel. He knows. He bought the FAMAS before, it let him down. Now he's got the MP9. It's a good man. It's the half investment from Airborne. They're not going to fully invest in this round. Plenty of rounds left to play with. They can just do a little bit of damage. A little bit of pick off CT here. A little bit of a 1D from JD there.
Oh.
All of a sudden you got yourself a round.
Sounds like a good little recipe.
Yeah.
Can you share the secret of your algorithm there?
Smooth Crim's in the server. He's playing Counterstrike, so usually pretty good. Oh, not when he's running straight through his... Oh,
Well, it's going to be Swede.
space created.
Like he's going to be the spice to life this time.
Oh,
Made nice and high, but it misses the mark. There was
very
a
high. Nice and high.
roof on the site.
Maybe not nice, just high, perhaps.
Well,
brace yourself, Mac.
Gets it done. You know, deleted. There we are. The 3v3 comes through. And Airborne, they're in this post plan again. I'm going to be playing the default this time, so much more open plant. Swede just tries to hunt for some heads, but it's going to be the CTs doing all the damage this time. Swede just unable to find anything in his sights. And there it is. The retake comes through. Paradox puts on 2.
That
You're one away
it
from
was
tying
just
up
a
again.
save. It was a half investment for Airborne. They were just playing.
They were just playing.
Now it's
But-
going to be a full buy.
Look, another bomb plant is huge for their economy, so they're going to get everything they've been wishing for. Here into the 6th round.
What are we thinking? I mean, you've seen this team more than I have, Mac. What are we thinking of the PZT side? Or do we rate it? Yay or nay? Oh, they're doing it.
I've seen Jordan make it work, so
They're doing it. We just did the video on this one.
and this time
Oh,
Hasn't-
Smooth Crim's
hasn't
seen the
worked.
vid. He's seen it.
they checked Twitter. It seems went and watched the repeat.
We've ruined Badonka. Don't worry. People will forget by next week. Well, they got carp control, Mac, and they're getting a bit of banana control. They're going a bit bananas. They're going to throw that smoke onto Jungle's side. But they haven't pushed Luke off the line. He still knows they're not in bracket. Still, though, you know, has floated back across and left Herbs on 18 HP, solo on B.
Well, that's an ambitious strategy. Paradox hoping that they can go for the retake here, which they've done okay with so far.
This is confidence in Herbs. They're just full committing to A. Easy, he's got it. 18 HP, no problems.
It seems to be coming through again. Matter of moments now. JD will take Herbs down. Yeah, that's going to be the man disadvantage for the retake. And Paradox, look, they went for the gamble and put it on the wrong colour, it seems, as it's going to be another round for Airborne, who should have 4 alive if they don't go for the hunt. And looking at the economy that's there, I dare say they won't bother.
They can buy up again. Who's your favourite Airborne player, Mac?
Oh,
And why?
probably PZ because he has my name.
Has he got red hair too?
No. He's taller than me. But I'm the jacked one, so it's okay. I feel like I feel pretty inadequate with myself sometimes. Maybe I thought I'd let you know that just quietly.
I really wouldn't have guessed it.
No?
Oh,
How did
chickens.
you know?
I don't know, Mac. You know, sometimes you just get that kind of energy from someone. See how Paradox go trying to take this banana control. That's a feels bad if you brace, because he just threw a Molotov that bounced off a small edge.
Oh.
And then died because of it. And again, Paradox, they take that banana control. It's a 1-for-1. They've dinked JD. If it was only a 1-for-1, Mac, I reckon it wouldn't even be that bad, you know? It would be alright. That's a nice smoke, though. That does actually limit Luke's info. Cut his angle off. Airborne smoke off jungle side, molly on dig side. And a flash on the dig line. You love to see it. Sweep through most of that. The man knows his nades. He's still got a smoke to throw on Moto or wherever. And looks like Badonka is going to be sending Lukey into dig side here. See if he'll be able to pick up JD. Beautiful. You love to see it.
Great line being held. Now Airborne are going to go for the hard commitment on the A side, so it's going to be a 3v3 for the moment. There's the entry. Swede looking good. PZ as well. Hits the mark, hits the target. Deserves, he's going to be smoked off, but spotted and spammed down. Smooth Crimp had the vantage point from above, and it's all up to Luke in 1v3, but he's happy just to keep the AWP alive, heading into the 8th round.
Almost timed out.
Just ran into the wall for a moment. There it is. Is Jordan the Ranger?
Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan Mays. I love Twitch chat sometimes. You guys really crack me up.
That's where production was supposed to use the soundboard, but it didn't happen.
It's alright.
Next time. Looking at you, Richard. I don't think he's listening.
Named and shamed. Well, it's going to be a save for Paradox, but an AWP and a handful of pistols is a recipe for success from time to time.
Ooh. Luke just holding that one a little bit wide. Misses the mark on the shot. It's Airborne. Haven't maintained control of apartments just yet, but there's the timing. Awkward situation for Swede. Tries to rip his gun back out, but Smooth Grim leaves him for dead as Badonka wants some more. Goes for the repeat, and he'll give more than he takes, but for now it is going to be the B site starting to drop down as JD makes his way through. Certainly has heard this rotation. Brace is already on the line. And there it is, yet another on the bag for Airborne, looking like it should be 6-2 scenario now. That's a quality start to Inferno. Looks like Paradox truly are getting ready to play for the comeback yet again. Still early days, though. Wow, Pilly, this one just popped off the top of my head.
Yeah?
Did you know that Western Union have the biggest network in the world with thousands of locations around the world?
You know, I was
So-
actually also thinking about something,
Yeah?
which is that Airborne, they just keep picking up these rounds so reliably, which is exactly like how reliably you can pick up cash with Western Union.
It's crazy. It's almost like it's a consistent thing in the game. Well, fun facts with Mac and Pilly.
It's a buy up from Paradox. Luke's got his hands on the AWP. That's what you want to see. Good money here for Airborne. I feel like this is kind of what we saw on Mirage. Paradox putting up a little bit more of a fight, but still, Airborne, they have plenty of buys to fall back on. There's the opening pick for Luke. Wins that AWP duel. I don't know if PC did have an AWP. I wasn't looking too closely. Maybe it wasn't an AWP duel. And it's looking like a bit of a carpet explode. Smoke onto Moto, flash goes over the top.
Couple of entries coming through. Or the hold off in the end. It's only Luke to fall. Smooth Crim now just tries to run for his life. Does have the AWP in play, but Paradox looking like it should be there around. And ditches that AWP as best he can. Grabs all the utility that he can throw as well. But, you know, denies it, and there is no AWP found at the end. You could see them searching, so that was at least a big brain play there from Liam. Paradox, they're back in the game with a big hold from the A side.
AWP now on PZ. Airborne putting together the last little bits of their money to get a buy on the board here. Oh, what a flash from Brace to set up PZ.
Great entry.
He knows he's going to pick up the zoom cannon.
But he doesn't go for the wallbang, which might have found a free bit of damage onto JD. He's coming in a little bit late. There's still a whole bunch of utility invested from both sides to try to maintain control of Banana there.
Airborne sizing up this B site. Flash in the mid-round. JD was anti-flash, and that's the easiest kill of its life.
A little bit too far there. JD
collab.
trying to bait out the shot. Huge damage onto PZ as well, but Sweet is in front of the smoke already, and Lukey works the timing, but PZ has the line, and it's all up to Inno to try to buy some extra time for the rotation through. It's just Badonka to help him out, but he's so far away now, and the connection through just can't quite get the damage done to stop the plant from going down.
Badonka's got full util. Smoke onto Nana, Molly into new box or back left, or back right, sorry. And this could be a good retake. It's not ideal. Maybe that's what he was going for. Maybe he wanted to flush out oranges, who knows?
Big brain Molly, but this time smooth brain in the scenario. His brace is on the line, but Badonka's looking sharp.
Ooh.
There it is, the re-entry's coming through. Knows where the final man is. He's done it all himself. The 3K on the retake with the defuse as well. Paradox, they're here to win.
The soft reset on Airborne's money as well. That's worth 2 rounds.
No one saw that one come. T's in perfect positions to try to go for those trades, but just headshots are plenty. Look at him go. Badonka doing the doink.
Do the doinking dance. That's what it looks like.
Well, it is a mid-aggression from Paradox, this time relentless onto Airborne, who are going to try to go for a bit more control, but Luke there has the line. Badonka as well, happy to find a single.
You know what they call this dance?
What?
The HLTV farm.
Ooh. Sounds interesting. Tell me more, Pilly.
We see they are getting the eco frags to be able to boost their HLTV rating.
Even PZ's, the bait was there, the M4 with a single bullet in the clip. And it was all over for him as he just had the cover of the half wall and the barrel.
That seems like a lot of cover, Mac.
Not enough.
It's never enough.
Never enough.
Badonka will always find you, no matter how wide he has to swing.
Calling him a noob basher again.
Why do you keep bringing that up, man? I'm trying to move on.
Trying to move on.
He had a good series against Order. I haven't said it again since then. Okay. Let's just leave it alone, shall we? Here's the retake on towards Banana. What do you think of that? That has nothing to do with bashing noobs.
No, but Brace being boosted over the smoke may just be the ticket here. The nades come through, but Paradox just don't cross over the line.
It's good money on Paradox. Good amount of cash. Even if they did lose this round, they'd be able to buy again.
Some good investments. Some great decision making earlier on in the game. Allowing the economy to look nice and stable. Airborne now leaving the lurker over towards the A site rather, as the B push comes through, but Inno and Herbs may just be able to hold it in the crossfire. Herbs will lurk back through the smoke as Luke goes hyper aggressive with the CZ through the smoke. Not sure if that one was worth it, but it is going to be the Glock to mop things up, and they know exactly where Luke was. But he is now just saving. As you could see, I believe it was Swede on the lurk at A, and he managed to kill both of those players.
Not bad.
Certainly more than enough to get the round on the board yet again for Airborne.
Much closer and hotly contested map this time around though, Mac. That's what we like to see.
It's been a while since Airborne has found a round. Paradox getting their way back into it, trying to keep it nice and close. Airborne with a rock-solid T side so far.
7 rounds. Very good. Could be 10 though. 10's even better.
Look, 10's a good amount of rounds, let's be real. That means you're 5 in the lead as you go into the second half. Which could be more if you win the pistol, you know. It's a long battle of attrition. But we'll see where we end up.
It's a mid push again. Maybe he's going to peek from second mid this time.
Oh, certainly is not going to be able to peek from second mid because he has no head to do it with.
Nope.
Brace just sharpening up as Luke just tried to make the read, but he didn't hear the jump up into apartments.
This is not a good round to be losing if you're Paradox, because you're looking to get soft reset here. You know, trying to make the play.
Brace hasn't spotted the shoulder. There was the lineup. That is a missed opportunity from Inno. Thought to Lukey, who's trying to hold aggressively, but has to go for the reload, hides his little head, and does have the FP9 at close range. That's massive. Team flash as well, as you stated. Not looking too good there, but Airborne still have that man advantage. As the retake may just come through from Herbs.
No kit for him. Can he go and find one? Is there one to pick up? I'm not sure.
Well, there's a couple of CTs, bodies on the way to site, which he might just be able to find. But he's now been spotted. Into a decent position, but PZ already going wide. The crossfire now established. Just going to be way too hard to win this round. Looks like the AWP save is the answer, and there's still a kit in play. Herbs does manage to retrieve it on the exit there. And he's got full HP, so he's happy just to make his way across over towards T-Apps. Airborne showing some respect and not bothering to go for the hunt, knowing that they need to worry about their economy first. Seemingly keeping their family in line.
There you go, Mac. I don't know what any of those words mean, but that's the definition of ribosome. Watching Herbs made me think about it again. Biochemistry makes my brain hurt.
I don't know what RNA is.
What's RNA?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Maybe it's like...
But it has something to do with the ribosome to synthesize polypeptides and proteins.
You know about protein, Mac.
Oh, mate, I know about protein. Don't you get me started on protein. Oh, I love a bit of protein. Yeah, it's really good. Makes my muscles big. Doesn't do much for my brain, but... That's all right. Brains, who needs them? Keep them smooth. Well, Airborne, they're going to be throwing a whole lot of fake utility over towards the B site. Surely that one's called. You've got Luke on the line. It's just a couple of pistols that they have to deal with at A now. Good smoke to force the T's to go through it, but Sweet is going to get it done regardless. Good crosshair placement allows him through, and a nice little tappity tap straight onto Herbs. He's going to crack open the A site. He's still at Badonka alive up in the apps, but he's going to be spotted, trying to make his way through. Smooth Cream with the defenses as the post-plant situation occurs. It is going to be Luke as well falling, and Airborne are just happy as Larry. Yet again, 4 alive. This is looking very good as we are going to send it straight to the final round of the half.
10-5.
Looking like it's certainly on the cards.
Could be. Pretty lackluster utility here for Paradox. Luke's been dropped at all. See if he can get some work done with it. Oh, nice spam there from Sweet. That's a freebie for Airborne. You can see Smooth Cream. He knows.
Oh, he knows. Paradox, they're worried about this one, but look at that. Luke, he was posted on T-stairs, and that bomb was not allowed to have safe passage towards B. Now, Luke's going to reposition over towards Moto now. Slippery and moving. Does he expect Smooth Crim on the short side already? No, he certainly doesn't. So this now could be an opportunity.
Are we sending Badonka into dig? Surely we are. No?
Surely. No, not just yet.
PZ's got a flash for Chimney here.
See if that one comes through, but the util, it is certainly heard. Badonka's waiting now. Luke just has to hide, but he's going to swing wide, and Smooth Crim denies him. That's the A site, happily taken. Paradox, it's the last round of the half, so they have to go for the retake.
Oh, it's beautiful stuff from the T side there. Good timing. Could have definitely gone the way of Paradox, though. Still could. Gonna need some kills, and that's not a fantastic start.
No, and you know, has a whole long way to go, and he's not going to get anywhere. There it is, the 10-5 half, as Airborne are looking strong as ever and ready to close this one out. That was 10 on the T side.
Gorgeous.
And you know that they've got the structure to close it on the second half. Problem is, can they deal with the hyper-aggression of Paradox?
Can they deal with Nana?
Maybe.
It's an important part of the map.
I know that at least Brace knows his utility at Banana. I don't know if he's playing Banana.
Everyone should know their utility at Banana.
You'd hope so.
You just got to be able to throw it right and at the right time and in the right combinations.
In this situation is right at the start of the round, every round, or you're going to get destroyed. Because the bloke with the spawn is going to hold W.
Even if you do throw your util at the start of the round, though, it doesn't always help you. Like, a lot of the time, they'll just count. They'll just throw down. They already are underarming smokes as they're running. Just going for it, sending it. So,
Full
be
sense.
interesting.
No return to sender here.
It's going to be like exchanges of util on that T side. Gun rounds from Paradox. Like, even if the Olaf Molly comes out, the smoke will go down. Asking the real questions, Matt.
Asking the hard hitters. Oh, Jordan has confirmed that he is a ranger.
Okay.
Chat. Didn't know that. He must dye his hair. What do you know?
It's only that one guy who isn't then.
Twitch chat knows more than us. Who's that one guy?
I think his name is like... what is it? Something with a K.
Hevan.
Oh, Jose.
Hevan.
Evan.
Hevan.
Oh, man. What a banger of a violin solo. I don't know if you guys know this, but actually, there's this guy in production, his name is Chris, and he actually plays that violin solo every time.
And you guys know Turtle? Like Chadmin Turtle?
Yeah.
He actually has his little conductor stick. Sways it to get Chris to play hit the right notes, hit the high notes, you know.
The teamwork that you're looking for in a production team.
Well, it is going to be a faster approach from Paradox. Straight up mid they go. Brackets control in their hands. And Airborne now looking like they are going to have to play for the retake unless Paradox go to B, which is exactly where they're heading. And Lily going to be caught in the open. As it is going to be Paradox getting all the kills they need. Brace is here with no armor, trying to fight, but he is running out of options. Drops that nade, which gets some decent damage done, but unfortunately for him, he will fall. Now it's up to JD and PZ to try to get back into this one, but they've gone for the fast and aggressive rotation, straight down mid, straight to Banana. It's looking like an unachievable situation.
I'd say so.
There it is. The line held by Badonka, too strong. And that was a big ask from the two remaining Airborne players. But Paradox, there it is, the hyper-aggression we were talking about. Straight up Banana all the way around the world to B.
They've been doinked. Sort of a forced buy, not a full investment from Airborne. They're still saving for that third round, should they not be successful here, Mac.
Yeah, they got a bit in the tank, don't they? So, in two minds about going for the full investment. Just waiting out the smoke now. Using some patience, which isn't something Paradox is known for. Not wanting to get collapsed on by any number of pistol boys.
Here we go. They're taking that Nana back. I saw a chart about bananas in Coles the other day.
Oh. Were there any left?
There was.
Ah, that's surprising.
And it had all the different colours of banana and what you do with them. So the green one, apparently you put that in a salad, if it's green. Or you let it ripen for 2 to 3 days.
It'll taste like chalk.
I know. I was like, what salad could you put that in that would make it taste alright?
Nothing. No kind of salad. Well.
And then if it's dark brown, Mac, you use it for baking, like in banana bread.
Oh, I knew that one.
You're very knowledgeable about the banana, Mac, I see.
Do love me a good ripe banana. Well, looking like Airborne, they do have the man advantage for the retake. The pistols causing a little bit too much damage. And there's the AK in play on Brace as well, who hasn't been the leading fragger, so I'd personally send that one to JD to use, but it looks like Brace is going to be going up first, trying to recycle the AK, but he's going to be spotted, takes one with him. The trades are favouring Airborne again. It's all up to Luke to try to hold, but he has the lineup and a Krieg to play with, and he gets it done. 4 kills, which is in a situation where he never should have had to try to clutch like that. Up against a couple of little pistol-y boys.
Yeah.
But he's done it.
True that. But he's still, you know, he's still done it. And that's got to count for something. It does. Counts for a round. Paradox got that round. They almost didn't, though. Still, that's expensive. That's very expensive.
Much more aggressive approach down towards second now. As there's a whole lot of damage done by the CTs, which never should have come through.
It's great damage.
And I'm surprised that after the amount of damage they already did do in the previous, we didn't see another force buy coming out from Airborne. Smooth Crim, look at this decision. He's gone into T-spawn and managed to get the timing onto Herbs, who was on the hunt already.
What do you mean? He just went and bought that AK. And that's where you buy the T-guns.
Ah, of course.
And he's come out with it and he's decked Herbs. Easy.
Brinkley Brain, 200 IQ.
Yep. Not a smooth brain 22.
Now we'll see if they can get back into sight.
Oh, the mollies.
Sweetie and Lely looking to make the retake work, but the molly forces in wide, and Luke, can he get it again? Yes, he can. He's done it. 8 on the board for Paradox, but Airborne are making them fight for every single round they take.
That's right. It's expensive. Like bananas after that hurricane in Queensland. Jordan Mays could tell you about that one, I'm sure. He's a filthy Queenslander.
That'd be like the worst situation for a Queenslander. Not being able to afford your own bananas.
Do they even do anything else up there?
Just banana fiends. Big fans of Donkey Kong. Airborne going for the 3-2 setup now.
I mean,
Paradox on yet another bite, which is scrounged together.
they're going to be broke. They don't have the loss bonus that
Yeah.
the CTs have.
That's it. Only Luke alive in the last 2 rounds. Just up against the pistols as well.
It's a slow banana control. Smoke goes on the half wall. Little head stack. Make sure those CTs don't get too cheeky. There's the smoke on the jungle side, but it's a counter smoke on the mid from the CTs. 53 seconds. Look how much utility Airborne have. Look how much, Mac. Look at it.
That's a huge amount of utility, Billy. I'm extremely impressed by the amount of utility still in play.
Thanks, Mac.
No worries. I got you. Well, heavy shoulders is what PZ's going to have. Big wide ones trying to carry the control of Archers, but he's just going to make it through the smoke anyway. As JD hits back as well, so Airborne taking down the T's without even needing to see them. Swede's in a very rough position to try to hold now. Has a molly to play with, but in the 1v1, can he take down Herbs with the Galil? Yes, he can.
If that was an AK, that's all I'm saying.
Well, he could have upgraded the Krieg, which is what Swede did right at the end. And there it is, Airborne. They're on the board for the second half, and they are looking good with only one man falling.
That's a hard reset on Paradox.
It was a matter of time.
Badonka and Herbs have $1,500. And they're just going to take the save. They're just going to double save. They're going to have a jump around and have a chat. What do you do, Mac? What do you do on this T side?
I feel like you just hit your shots better and send Luke in first rather than leave him to clutch it. What do you reckon?
Maybe.
He's the
How has Inno taken only 16 from that? Excuse me?
Oh, look, the second one did a much better job.
It must have gone in one of those seats.
Of course, you know, those seats, they can carry some shrapnel.
They use them in the army, I think.
Now the Galil's going to get an entry. Herbs starting to get it done. Close the distance, but I dare say it's going to be another Airborne round eventually. However, Luke's still alive, and he's got a Deagle. He's got a Dream. Herbs can't utilise that Krieg to its full effectiveness. Luke might be able to creep up on the line here. Correction time a little bit late, and the double swing was just too much. There's
4
Airborne
alive.
now. Look, well, Airborne 4 away from taking the series.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
You looked over behind us when you said that.
Yeah, I know.
What's the pattern?
I don't know. 4. I thought there was 4 screens. There's only 3.
What?
Anyway,
They put something in your burrito, that's all I'm saying. You're out of it tonight.
it's a burrito bowl, Mac.
Oh, sorry, something in your bowl of burrito.
I don't think anyone's ever said that. Honestly, only you would come up with something like that, Mac.
Thank you, I'm doing my best. Well, Sweetie is going to be falling there in the Molotov, burning eventually. Lukey now last alive. Going to be shut down. Strength in numbers, Airborne on that hard rotation after spotting the bomb. Was just too much, and now Airborne are only 3 away from the big old W here in the first series of the night.
I thought you said Alt W for a sec. And I was like, what does Alt W do? What's the hotkey? The shortcut for that? But it was Alt W. It's just everything that Australians say sounds like something else. I feel like it's a nightmare for other cultures.
I am very sorry, Mitchell Pilipowski. I will try to not slur any of my words for the rest of the cast. Do you like that?
So like Microsoft Mac. I would pay for that.
Well,
Every
here
time.
we are, 22nd round so far, and looks like Airborne are going to be on the 3-2 split yet again. Banana control is just coming up now. Luke stuck at Olaf for the moment. Airborne not contesting that banana control, but it is going to be psg with the entry.
With the AWP. What do you do in a 4-on-5 on Inferno? Well, you try and roll into that B bomb site and you try to hit some shots. Oh, JD. What a cheeky spot. What a cheeky man. Here comes Luke.
Luke with the Krieg. Looking dangerous, and that is going to be the B site already found.
Quick flank, though. Bomb hasn't even gone down yet. Look at this man.
And he might be able to close the distance nice and early.
Whoa.
Oh, bomb plant denied. Smoothcrim gets it done, and Lily wants 3-3 as he goes straight through. Can't quite get it done. Luke as well brings it to the 2v2. CT's in great positions to deny bomb plants. Donker going to get it done at first oranges. The cover is there, but Luke just barely able to survive, and psg as well. Going to be able to hit the wallbang. They know that Luke is over towards the coffins now. Goes wide. psg misses the most crucial shot of the round so far. And fully blinded Luke. There's no way that he survives to tell the tale of the 22nd round.
How did he not go down? He's just one-tapped him. How did he not go down to that flashbang, Mac? That doesn't make sense. However, Luke, that's literally the third time this half for Paradox that he has 1v-X'd. And if he didn't win all of these rounds, Paradox would already be in the bin.
What cheat codes is Luke using? Like, I've got the script in front of me. Airborne should have won 3 rounds ago. And Luke's just...
Luke would never give up his provider.
Entering the matrix. Anyway, slower approach here in the 23rd.
All right. I think this might be the first time I've seen Paradox just go, okay, you can have banana in a long time.
Yeah.
They're going to go for Bracken instead. It's a double jungle side setup.
Oh, no boost coming over that smoke, though.
Oh, look at this pressure on JD. He's gone down for free. There's no one even on this side of the map.
Airborne just taking way too long to sort out their things over towards Archers there. As the A site is encapsulated.
They're just going to save.
Default. It's the call. When your money's about to break like that, you have to make the hard decisions.
So, would you like to join the cult of Luke? I haven't asked you formally.
How do I join? Where do I sign?
You have to entry for Luke in a match and die for him, and then he clutches the round. It's like a sacrificial offering.
I'm not allowed to do that, though.
You have to let Luke bait you.
I can't cast anymore if I play in these.
Just, I don't know. Oh, Luke's not in FPL, is he? There you go.
He
was before, I think.
He should be.
Yeah.
Ah, well. I think he just doesn't play. I know Doinky Boy does.
Oh, yeah. He loves a bit of FPL.
I have a bit of doinking.
I've definitely done my fair share of being the bait for Luke.
Ah, of course. Well, if it works, that's all I'm saying.
Sure.
Good placement on the nade. Unfortunately, there is no one to catch it. Those parts of the wall are my most hated parts of Inferno. You know where the windows are? And just how if you throw it towards a window, the nade could go literally any direction.
Yeah, but why would you?
Why not?
What you throwing at that wall for, Mac?
Bouncing it onto site, mate. What are you talking about?
Oh, they're just going in. They're just going for it, mate.
They're just going way too hard. Boost up now onto the ledge as well, and Smoothcrim is going to strike at the perfect moment. Across the site just yet. CT's able to buy some extra time for the rotations. Airborne now with the man advantage, able to go for the retake as well, but it is going to be a 2-man advantage as Smoothcrim denies the push towards the back of site. Lukey gets that bomb plant secured. Flash coming through from his teammate to gain some space, buy some time. But he wants to go through, and he's going to have 3 CTs to worry about. In comes the utility, but he's going to be baited out initially. And Bedonker in the 1v5.
He's dropped his gun.
What is he doing?
He's dropped his primary weapon.
What is Bedonker doing with a Glock? Was he trying to upgrade and then gave up and ran away?
Oh my god.
Well, that was something. I believe Bedonker got kicked from FPL initially because there was one round which was super close where he could have just won the round by killing him, but he pulled his knife out to go for a knife and died, and then tilted enough people that he got removed. That's one of those situations where you're like, what is going on inside his head?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, well.
Either way, what a great retake from Airborne. And I have to say, across this series, the amount of impactful rounds and kills that Smooth Crim has been putting on the board for Airborne is insane. It's insanity. The man's not even in carry form at the moment.
No.
Like, this is just very, like, B grade gameplay from what we're used to seeing from Smooth Crim, but he still has his impact rounds.
Well, Brace is in a great position to hold the bracket control. Oh, but he's given it up. Going to fall back and set up the crossfires instead. Trying to make the read that it is going to be an A hit. Looking like it should be mid-round as well. Airborne still with some decent utility to fend off the push.
Swedes rotating over in towards Speedway side. There's a smoke into Moto. They're trying to draw out some utility. Molly into Carpet does get expended. Flash is going over Chimney now for Lukey, but down goes Bedonker on Arch side.
Oh, and that's going to be a free trade. He was waiting so long for that flash to come through.
JD's one-wayed himself in pit. Free smoke onto Moto from the CTs, actually.
30 seconds. It's not too late to go for the B split here, but they aren't able to make the read that there's 3 on site. They're all hiding the turtle that's coming through, and there it is. The lineup, but Brace doesn't expect the second man. It's going to be Herbs to get the damage done. As push comes through on the flank now, it's going to be all the awkward situation. As Herbs now is able to find the perfect position to get this bomb planted, but JD from above just loses his head. Nasty shot from Herbs. Paradox, they need this one.
Smooth Crim, though. He wins these.
Jiggling, waiting to work the timing. Herbsy spots it, but it goes both ways. It's a battle over the mid-box yet again.
He's been dinked.
And Smooth Crim, just one bullet is all he needs to land. The aggression comes through. He goes up. Herbs goes down. And that is a 15th round found by Airborne.
How does that work? He dinked him. He was on 50 HP. It's gone through the box.
Somewhere.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Hate to see it.
Sounds like a you problem.
Mm.
Sounds like a Paradox problem. Airborne, they've taken it. But it was costly.
Don't worry. We saw this before. Paradox in the lower bracket.
Yep, yep.
They'll be fine.
5 more rounds. Double OT. Easy comeback for Paradox.
Oh, no. I was talking about next series.
Oh, right.
This one's over.
Okay. Well, Luke's alive, so anything could happen at this point.
True. Airborne scrambling to get back in position. Paradox have taken bracket. Haven't taken banana. Actually, Airborne have been doing a pretty good job of holding down this B side of the map. I don't feel like Paradox have been going for it as much. Lukey rather, has spotted JD through the corner of the smoke there. Doesn't get the good end of that exchange. Now Paradox again. Looking like they want to go for this A split. Herbs against Smooth Crim in towards banana here. Doesn't go either way. What a line from Luke. You said Luke's still alive. PZ is as well, though.
He'll deny the carry, but there it is. The T's starting to crumble, but Inno has something to say about it, and Herbs as well was sharp before, but can he do it again? fighting individually. Herbs is trying to rotate in just in the nick of time, but pz's on that line as well. And the push comes through. Matter of moments. Brace, he's going to close it down here as Inno swings wide. The crossfire is there, but the bullet's yet to connect. It's Brace to get it done. 3 in the final, and that is going to be the 16-10 scoreline. Airborne have done it from the lowest seed in Split 2, have taken down the big dogs, Paradox.
The top seed. Reverse sweep, no less. Going down on Nuke in OT and then getting it done in fairly succinct fashion, I would say, on both Mirage and Inferno. Pretty respectable series win. I do have to say, though, Paradox looked pretty flat in those last 2 maps. Even in the first map, apart from Luke and Badonka, looking very, very flat. But hey, a win's a win. Airborne, they looked good across the board in that series. They look like they have their heads screwed on pretty well.
Yep.
And I'm keen to see more from them. They've definitely earned that upper bracket spot. And they probably will be playing another opponent between Rooster and Skyfire, I would assume, which we'll see in the next series, that they can probably beat as well. Yep. That's pretty deep into the upper bracket, considering that they only just came through the open qualifier.
Well, that's what I was saying as well. You know, Airborne, they were playing in last season as well under MLW, I believe. It was kind of a different mixed team back then.
There's like 2 halves of MLW split up either way, but still go on.
Yeah, still just, you know, going. So we did expect to see them here, and it just took a little while for them to come through. They were just, you know, sleeping in the first open qual, so they didn't make their way in. And look, they're here now, and they're ready to play, apparently. So they started off pretty slow. You know, we thought that Nuke would have been their map, but then they fired up on Mirage, fired up on Inferno, and just got over the line. And it's exciting to see a little bit of upset coming through Paradox. Look, we had some high hopes for them coming in here, but if they keep up that kind of performance, we may see them going out early in the lower bracket.
Well, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Maybe Paradox can only really punch up, and when it comes to trying to shut down those upsets from happening or shut down a team that's on, quote-unquote, you know, below them, when I don't, you know, Airborne's a pretty good team. They're still, you know, individually just as good as this Paradox team, in my opinion. Yeah. Maybe they can't get it done. Maybe they're only good at putting these upsets together, and when it comes to just being consistent enough to gatekeep, we saw it in the Rio quals. Rather than, you know, going through to those Rio quals, they weren't able to beat Skyfire, a team that upset them as well. So maybe this Split 2 is just not where Paradox can get it done. I guess we'll have to see as we follow them more through the lower bracket.
Well, they've got one more game to make it up to them, maybe more if they fight for it. Anyway, that is going to be the first series done for the night. We do have Rooster taking on Skyfire on the other side of this break. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Much more action coming up shortly.
Why?
Making the AWP battle there straight through the vent. But look at this aggression. That's what we wanted to see from the U-tilt. Herbs now. Got to hold the line, but it is going to be a strong crossfire. Herbs will fall as
point, so they're going to try and bust through that with a flash. That's not going well for them at all. No,
the flash hit decent damage. Softening up the T's there for Swede to try to... Oh, it's a 2v3. There is a chance. No, Easy can't deny the drop just yet. There it is. Second and a third. He has to be, but Easy. No scope. Swing through the smoke too. But I dare say Swede is going to be the crux of the round. 2 for him. Almost the third. Oh, and that's an awkward time for a reload, Geordie. There's the drop. Upset potential high. And see how he reacts.
I think he knows. What a flash though from Herbs. Nice little underarm.
The flash comes through, but Brace holds strong as Smooth Scrim falls. They know exactly where Brace is as well in the 2v1. The cover is there, and...
Use your mustache.
Oh, well, Luke is here and fighting. 2 for 1. Gets the doinking going. He's got full control of the bomb as well, which needs to be retaken. Donker on the line is trying to get it done with the Galil. Loses his head. Mario. Brace is the line, but Badonka's looking sharp. Ooh. There it is. The re-entry's coming through. Knows where the final man is. He's done it. Going up first, trying to recycle with the AK, but he's going to be spotted. Takes one with him. The trades are favouring Airborne again. It's all up to Luke to try to hold, but he has the line up and a creep to play with, and he gets it done. 4 kill. And he might be able to close the distance nice and early. Bomb plant denied.
Mr. Murray, have you decided on a name?
We're thinking Callum.
Callum Murray.
Callum Murray.
Callum Murray.